behind the glass, Agent Chris, please, London, raise your right hand. Salute the Priv for all of his excellent work, although I don't quite know what the hell... Black coffee, white coffee, don't be sexist, delivering a parcel, what? This is doing... Ian, I bet you won't read out all the text again today. You've got that right. Boy, you got that right. Me got in trouble doing... one of the people listening to this show, you, for example, are intelligent, you're articulate, you're well-rounded, you're well-read, but some of the people listening to the show, and some of the people who phone this show, and this station, are as thick as LBC. Really, really thick. Some of the people. Not everyone. Not you. Not you listening to this now. No, not you. But Jeff... Jeff didn't even know what show it was. Bless him. Which is... you can see I'm in a kind of a mood today, and this is good. We're going to use this to our advantage. Sometimes I've done a show when I'm in a mood. That's the fella who was asleep at the desk yesterday. I've had a picture of a gentleman who was asleep throughout the whole show. When I'm in a mood, I think the show suffers a little bit. Today's show is going to be flippin' brilliant because of the mood. I had 2 blazing rows with 2 idiots today. Idiots! I was coming round a roundabout, and this guy from the left just cut in front of me. So I beeped him, and he leant out of his van, and yes, it was a white van driver. I don't want to, stereotype and generalise, but all white van drivers are idiots. He leant out of his van... Well, you bloody do this, and I was going, it's a roundabout. I didn't start swearing at this point. I was going, it's a roundabout. I've got right of way. And he's effing and blind and all that. And then a moped pulls up beside me. And the moped goes, yeah, your indicators are broken, mate. And so I leant out and went, what? No, my indicators aren't broken. He said, no, they're not. Then you should LBC and use them then. And this moped started arguing with me. I was going, what's it got to do with you? And he was a learner. So I had to go at him for being a learner. And he had a bigger... And then he started to ride off. And like a lot of people you try and have arguments with, he didn't have the balls, the intelligence, or the argument to back up his argument, and he rode off like a coward. And boy, I felt good after that argument. I felt good. It was like taking a drug that I read about in a book. It was a pure adrenaline rush. It was cathartic. I felt excellent. And I'm thinking today, do you fancy having a row? Do you want to have a row with me? Because I reckon good argument adds years on your life. That blood pressure being increased, it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you live longer. Is there something... Do you want to have an argument with me? The deal is today. I could have come on and done some contentious issue, put forward some pretend thing that I don't really believe in. Something like, we should go and invade Iran. We shouldn't have gays in the army. We shouldn't give competence. All these arguments. People, and you do get some presenters on this style of show that do that thing, where they put forward an argument because they know people will get angry and they'll phone in and argue about it. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you tell me what you want to argue with. And whatever your point is, I will take a diametrically opposed, completely opposite viewpoint to you. And we'll have an argument about it. And even if it's something even if I believe and agree with you, I shan't today. I shall argue with you. Do you want an argument? Phone me up now and argue with me, for God's sakes. 0870 9090973 is the telephone number if you want to have a good argument. I feel the back of my neck getting tense. I'm getting a tension headache already with this anger. Kissy Face is in the Bromley. Hello, Kissy Face.
Oh, I can argue about that straight away.
Go on, then. Go on.
Yes, Kissy Face.
Yes?
I mean, why have you still put me down as Kissy Face?
That's your nickname. I heard you...
No. I was... Bob, last night, I was...
I heard you telling Clive Bull you wanted to be called Kissy Face on the radio.
No, I told him that you'd name me that.
I didn't... I know you... It was your nickname.
I'm back in Bromley now. I'm back in Liz in Bromley. I'm not Kissy Face anymore. I should never have told you that.
You shouldn't have told me it, no.
No, it was a big mistake.
Very big mistake.
Yeah, you're in the right mood today, aren't you?
I certainly am. Do you want an argument?
About what? About Kissy Face?
Anything you want. Do you agree with me, Kissy Face, that having an argument is a very cathartic thing? It can make you feel young.
Yes, because I'm in a right mood today, because I've had a disagreement with somebody, and I'm not very happy this afternoon, so I can argue about whatever you like.
What do you want to argue about, Kissy Face?
Kissy Face.
Well, listen, it's the name that we've got on the screen for you. What am I supposed to call you?
Me.
No,
I mean, I could call you a lanky beanpole, couldn't I?
You could do that, and that would be very rude. Kissy Face is a term of affection. By the very fact it's got the word kissy in, it's a term of affection. And this is... No, shush, let me finish. This is is the nickname that you told me was your nickname.
Yes, but not a nickname from you, from somebody else.
Then why did you tell me if you didn't want me to call you it?
I told you. It was a big mistake.
Oh, boy, wasn't it a big mistake?
Oh, it certainly
was. Wasn't it, miss?
Mistake of my life.
Wasn't it
I wish
just?
I'd never done it.
Yes, so do I.
And I might not ring you again.
Yeah, I'm good.
Especially if you call me that name again.
Kissy face. Excellent. That was fun, wasn't it? That was fun. That was fun. Thank you for that, Kissy face. This is what I'm talking about. That was fun, wasn't it? She enjoyed that. She's had a rubbish day. She's had a bad day. She wants to have an argument, and she had an excellent argument there. The problem is she didn't argue very, very well. Her point wasn't that good. Do you know what I mean? You can do better than that, can't you? Do you want to have an argument with me? And we'll make up and be friends at the end of it. You know, let's not fall out of this. It's just a radio show in the afternoon. Let's get this all in perspective. Oh, I've got an adrenaline rush. This is seriously. Phone up, have a go, have an argument with me. You won't win, by the way. You won't win. But it feels good. It's a bit of a buzz. 0870 9090 973 14 past 4.
The time with Heathrow Express. The fastest way to Heathrow Airport. Timing is everything.
Ooh, there's nothing more attractive than orange peel skin. Well, if you've got unwanted cellulite, that's something you don't hear very often.
Depilex brings you Endomology, an impermanent treatment for the appearance of cellulite.
And for a limited time, all endomology treatments are reduced by 25% at Depilex Beauty Clinic on Wigmore Street.
Call 020-7486-0852 for your free private consultation.
Unveil the real you at Depilex.
I know that BGR Bloomer personal injury solicitors are fast and friendly. And I know that if you've been injured at work or in a car as a driver or passenger, and it wasn't your fault, they'll help you for free. There's nothing I don't know about... Oh. You can now text claim to 81066. I didn't know that. BGR Bloomer. They're your personal injury solicitors. Call 0800 050 1055.
Time now to get the latest LBC 97.3 news headlines with Sandy Hall.
Thanks, Iain. A man has been jailed for life for strangling his girlfriend and then making an emotional appeal on television claiming she'd gone missing. A mother's at the High Court challenging what she calls the crazy confidentiality guidelines, allowing young girls to have abortions without their parents being told. And there's a massive police presence around Buckingham Palace. The Queen is meeting the Chinese president as part of his state visit. Heavy rain at first tonight. It will dry up after midnight. Quite chilly, though. 8 Celsius the low. Tomorrow, much cooler. A mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12 Celsius.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from the excellent Simon Bennett.
Thank you, Iain. Right, M3 out of town. It's still shut from the M25 down to Junction 3. That's Lightwater after an accident involving a car and a lorry. Pretty bad delays in the area, affecting the M25 as well. Now, if you're heading anti-clockwise and needing to go on the M3, obviously you can't. So you're being diverted off at Staines, that's Junction 13. Clockwise drivers are being pushed onto the A3, so off at Junction 10 for the M25. So routes through Egham looking very busy, and also in the area just off the A3 to get down towards the south to rejoin the M3 at some point. Purfleet, the A1306 Arturo Road, shut London bound with an accident at the 282 just after the junction. Reports of a fire in Mile End closing Grove Road. Now this is between Roman Road and the Old Ford Road in both directions. We've got delays on the A12 Eastern Avenue heading out of town from Hackney Wick after an accident at the Greenman interchange. That's been cleared now, and we're just getting reports of a problem on the District Line. No service due to an incident at Putney Bridge. We'll keep an eye on that for you. For the rest of the network, we've got Jubilee and Northern and Victoria Line delays. Your next update in 15 minutes, LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
Last month, when the Mayor, Ken Livingstone, was on with Nick Ferrari, things didn't go so smoothly.
There are 3 ingredients required for a phone-in with the Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone. One of them is me. The other one is you to make the calls or send the emails. The third one would be Mayor Ken Livingstone. He is delayed.
Here's what happened next.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, sorry I'm late. The Jubilee line's got delays.
Yes.
The one line's down.
Will the Mayor be on time this time? He's here to take your calls tomorrow morning. Nick Ferrari at breakfast, weekday mornings from 7, London's LBC 97.3.
Have you noticed a nasty rise in your mortgage payments? Wish you could bring them down to a more comfortable level? Here's an idea. Talk to a mortgage expert at Abbey.
We've got a range of great flexible and low-rate mortgages that could save you a lot of money every year and make it possible for you to really enjoy your home again. You can start by calling 0800 80 80 80 or by visiting your local branch or abbey.com. Abbey, more ideas for your money. Calls recorded.
Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. England's under-21s take on France on Friday, November the 11th. Can England's young guns overcome the tough French side in this UEFA under-21s championship playoff? Tickets are just £10 for adults and £5 for concessions. Get yours now on 0870 420 5000. That's 0870 420 5000 or log on to lbc.co.uk. England's under-21s versus France. Live at White Hart Lane, Friday, November the 11th. Kick-off 7:30pm with London's LBC 97.3. The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Hello, you. How are you feeling? You're all right. I am feeling the best. Seriously, it feels like I'm high. And I've seen the films. I've seen Easy Rider. I've seen 5 Easy Pieces. I know what those guys get up to. I'm rushing. Because I had two excellent rows today. I had a brilliant row with Kissy Face. She wasn't a bad starter, but you can do better than that, can't you, London? Do you want to have a row with me? The deal is today. And we'll be friends. Don't worry, we're going to be friends. I bet you 1 or 2 people take this too seriously, and it gets a little bit nasty with them, and they genuinely fall out with me. Because that's not what we're doing here today. We're not making enemies. We're not, we're not falling out. We're just using the power of argument as a life-enhancing force. That's good, isn't it? I'm going to write. There's a book in there, isn't there? There's a self-help book in there somewhere, I think. If you want to have an argument with me, phone up. Whatever your argument is, I will take the opposite viewpoint. Just for today. Even if it's something I don't believe in, I will take the opposite viewpoint. We will have an excellent argument. I will beat you. Ian is, from the Hersham is texting. Ian, I'm a white van man. I don't think I'm an idiot. You all are. All white van men are idiots. Without a shadow of a doubt. Steve's on the A13. Hello, Steve.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, mate. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm a little bit concerned about you sort of getting the hump with us poor little sort of like scooter drivers trying to knock us off all the time.
Whoa, Steve, now, where have you heard that I was trying to knock you off?
Well, not me off, but I mean, them poor blokes on them scooters out sort of all over the place, and you want to have a row with them all.
I didn't want, the thing is, Steve, I didn't want to have a row with this guy today. He stuck his nose where it wasn't wanted, where it wasn't needed. He hadn't seen the incident happen between me and this other car, and to cap it all, he's giving me road safety tips. He's a learner. He hasn't even passed his driving test, Steve. I've been driving. Shut up, let me finish. I've been driving for 15 years, Steve. Now you can speak.
Go on, I'm listening.
No. Well, you're obviously not, because I've just told you can speak now.
Right, he might have a full driving licence, but on our plates on a 125.
Well, so he hadn't passed the test to be riding that.
Well,
so what's he doing giving me driving tips?
Well, you probably need them then. I mean, if you sort of like, obviously,
Steve,
you've got a good reason to give you
Steve, this is, well, listen, you can do better. This is one of the worst. I've had better arguments with my 8-year-old cousin. The thing is, what was that?
Whose car were you driving?
I was driving my car.
Your car, not your mum's car?
Well, she's given it to me. It's my car. It's in my name.
Are you sure? I mean, I got told by a reliable friend of mine, Mark, that you're still driving your mum's car.
Who's Mark, Steve? Why is...
It's a good close friend of mine.
Steve, you've just made Mark up, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
You heard David Prever saying it's my mum's car, you've made it up.
He told me that you can't afford a car on your wages, and your mum felt sorry for you and decided to give you her old banger.
Steve, on my wages, I could buy a new car every single month.
Every single month?
Every single month, Steve, on the money I get from doing this and from doing other jobs. The fact is, Steve, shush. The fact is, Steve, I've realised there are much more important things to spend my money on instead of getting a fancy new sports car. What's the point of having a fancy new sports car? I've got a functional car that gets me where I want to go, and it's cheap and reliable.
Yeah, well, a fair comment. I've got company cars.
Steve,
cars all the time.
Steve, I beat you, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
I beat you, didn't I?
I could carry on.
It's good fun, isn't it?
I enjoy it.
Steve, do you row, at the drop of a hat?
No, what would you have done if you had pulled over and this bloke had got off his scooter and pulled a knife on you?
Steve, now it's funny you should say that, because it did look at one point he was going to get off the scooter, and what I was going to do, the trick is, if you're in a car, someone gets off a scooter or a motorbike, you let them get off, you let them slowly walk over to your car, and then you drive off, because what are they going to do? They're on their feet. Steve, thank you very much. Still, the argument, the quality of the argument, not been very good today. You can do better than that. 'Cause seriously, that was rubbish. My mate Mark says you're driving your mum's car. My mate Mark says my dad's better than your... Rubbish, Steve. Rubbish. Hopefully, Chris in the tooting can do better. Hello, Chris.
Hi, how are you, Ian?
Chris, I'm fine. How's it going? You're right?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
What can I do for you, Chris?
Your cucumbers. I read somewhere they're 100% water. Don't know whether you agree with that or not. I think they are.
Cucumbers are 100% water?
100% water.
Well, you say you read it, Chris. Where did you read this?
Reader's Digest.
Reader's Digest, absolute nonsense. How can they be 100% water, Chris?
Because it's just so juicy.
Well, it may be juicy, but how can it be green? How can it be solid if it's 100% water? And what you've never, Chris, let's be honest, you've never read the Reader's Digest in your life, have you?
Well, ice is solid, that's water.
Chris, you've never read the Reader's Digest in your life, have you?
I have several hundred copies right here.
What's on the front of this month's Reader's Digest?
It's a picture of a house made out of money with a...
Nonsense.
...monkey sitting on the...
Nonsense. Chris, I'm not going to let you embarrass yourself any further. That was indeed embarrassing. Awful. Awful. London, come on. I am giving you the chance. If you want to beat me in a row, come on. I don't think you can do it. I'll take that back. I believe there are one or two people out there who could beat me in an argument listening to this show right now. But they're too intelligent to phone in, you see. That's the thing. And we're not falling out. Please, I know that someone is at some point going to take this the wrong way. It's all going to get a little bit nasty. Let's hover over the dump buttons, because I know someone will get upset if they realise I'm better at arguing than they are. But I just want to prove to you how cathartic, how energising it is to have a dance. It's like going for a long run and having a hot bath. That's how good it is for you to have a good row. 0870 90 90 973. Vic is in the Waltham Abbey. Hello, Vic.
Yeah, hello, Ian.
Hello, Vic. You're right.
Yeah, I'm all right. I tell you what.
Yeah.
You explain this to me. That guy on the scooter's got L plates on.
Yeah.
And he's a learner.
Yeah.
What about if he's got a car licence? He's done his driving test. He must know the highway code.
Mm-hmm.
You say he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm saying he's an idiot. I'm saying, Steve, what he's doing...
Oh, no, you said he didn't know his highway code. If he'd done a driving test, he's got to pass his highway code to do it.
Steve, he didn't know his highway code because he pointed out to me what he was doing. He stuck his nose in when it wasn't wanted about an incident he hadn't seen. He claimed, he was being sarcastic, he claimed my indicator lights weren't working. They were working. I did indicate at the roundabout. He was completely wrong. And also, Vic, he doesn't know his highway code because I was halfway round that roundabout before I was cut up. Whether I had my indicators on or off, I still had the right of way, so his argument was null and void. He was talking nonsense.
Oh. Well, I tell you what. I tell you. You there?
Yeah, Vic, go on. This is good,
isn't it?
Yeah.
He still must know his highway code.
No, Vic, you're backpedaling.
That you can't get away with.
Vic,
you won't win that one.
Vic, you're backpedaling.
You won't win it. No, you won't win.
You bless you for trying, Vic.
You said
I've won it. I've won it, Vic.
As far as his highway code.
He doesn't know his highway code because I was halfway round. Vic, listen. He doesn't know his highway... Vic, shush. He doesn't know his highway code because I was halfway round that roundabout before the fella pulled out. Whether I had my indicators on or not doesn't matter. I had right of way. Thank you, Vic.
Hold on. Oi, you there still?
Yes! Get on with it,
listen, there's one other thing you don't know.
Go on, Vic.
Roundabouts. There's a new ruling for roundabouts as well now.
Go on.
The bigger the vehicle,
the
less you have to give way to the right, okay? Catch you later. Ta-da!
He's going to hang up. He's going to hang up, isn't he? He's going to hang up. I love it. Oh, I love this. This is going to be my favourite day ever. He hung up there because he'd made up some new rule about the highway code. Oh, Vic, we didn't get a chance to say how much fun that was. This is such good fun. I'm actually getting a little bit hyperactive. I do need to calm down. I've got a can of Coca-Cola here. I shall have that later, because I do not need a sugar rush right now. What's happening is I had two excellent arguments today. Not excellent. They were badly ill-conceived arguments on the part of the people I was arguing with. But it made me feel good. It made me feel good. And I want to prove to you today that having a row, especially if you're rowing well, and I've got to say, all of the rows I've had so far in the last 27 minutes, they've not been very challenging. Do you know what I mean? I've beaten them easily. Easily. So if you're going to do this, I know we've got a lot of calls. If you're going to come on and have a row with me, try and have a good argument. Do you know what I mean? Try and have it well thought out and well researched. But I'm proving today that rowing is the best thing you can do for you. It's good for your health. It's that blood rushing through your veins. So exciting. It's better than sex. It's better than running a marathon. 0870 973 is the telephone number. You can email, and we've got some cowards emailing in arguments. That isn't going to work. I'm not even going to go there. But if you want to email in, it's Iain, IAIM, at lbc.co.uk. And, of course, the text number, which you do know by now, is 0771 776 0973. If you want to email or text in some tips for these people who are arguing so poorly, then feel free to. We'll have a look at the text after we've had a little bit of this.
In business, as in everything else, the best plans are generally simple ones. With Vodafone's ShareTime price plan, there's no charge for calling your company's mobiles or landlines within the UK. For details, call 08080 741 741. Vodafone. Make the most of now for your business.
Subject to status and minimum contract. Conditions apply.
We are gathered here to celebrate the life of Jim, a man for whom no one ever had a bad word.
Welcome to heaven, Jim.
Thank you.
Here you will reap the reward of a virtuous life. Bathe in rivers of liquid stardust. Soar through the skies with mighty feathered wings. And dance in crystal ballrooms. What say you, Jim?
I'd rather be at home.
Digital TV, broadband, phone and video on demand. Home Choice, your digital home network. Visit homechoice.co.uk for more details. Subject to local availability, BT phone line and a 12-month contract.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
We're rowing like there's no tomorrow on the text. Iain, you are so naughty. You shouldn't make fun of Kissy Face. Iain, you could never have a row. To argue with a 9-stone weakling is cruel. Go and do your homework, says Johnny of the Brixton. Iain, I'm 2 chickens called. My argument would be that Iain should not be sacked. I bet you drive like a big soppy girl. No, I'm an excellent driver. Iain, you're rubbish again. I said so before. I wouldn't make... Oh, here's the news.
Available on DAB Digital Radio.
London's LBC 97.3. At 4:30, I'm Sandy Waugh. A man who reported his girlfriend missing on Valentine's Day has been jailed for life for her murder. Paul Dyson strangled 22-year-old Joanne Nelson at their home in Hull. Hundreds of Tibetans and human rights activists are to stage a die-in outside Buckingham Palace tonight, where the Chinese president will be a guest of honour. Protesters want to draw attention to what they call the Chinese president's reign of terror in Tibet. He's here on a state visit. A mother of 2 teenage daughters is challenging guidelines which allow children to have abortions without telling their parents, the challenge being mounted at the High Court. Currently, doctors are allowed to respect the confidentiality of those under 16 years old. The French government is bringing in 50-year-old laws to crack down on riots. Curfews could be imposed across the country, banning under-18s from the streets from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. Work to make nearly all of our busiest motorways 4 lanes in each direction is likely to start in 2008. The possible date for the M25 widening has been given by the Highways Agency. It's inviting bids for the contract, which is worth around £1.5 billion. The busiest western section of the M25 is currently being extended to 5 and 6 lanes in places. 500,000 drug deals have been stopped on London's streets, according to Met Police. During the first year of their new crackdown, they've seized hundreds of kilos of cocaine, heroin, cannabis and ecstasy. Gwyneth Paltrow has been keeping mum about those pregnancy rumours. During an appearance at Selfridges on Oxford Street, she turned up in a ruffled skirt and a belted coat, hiding any hint of a bump. She's been unveiled as the new face of the cosmetics firm Estee Lauder. Later in London at 6:45, if you want to get involved with mountaineering, the British Mountaineering Council are holding a session this evening in the Edward Lewis Theatre at UCL. Funny stories from the BMC to get you involved with the climbing organisation. The weather, heavy rain at first. It will dry after midnight at 8 Celsius. Tomorrow much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12. It's 4:32.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
Many thanks. Right, the M3 closed out of town from junction 2. That's the M25 down towards 3 at Lightwater. It's an accident involving a car and a lorry. Purfleet now over in Essex. We've got the arterial road, the A1306 shut towards London. It's an accident just after the A282 junction. We've got reports of a fire in Mile End that's closed Grove Road between Roman Road and Old Fort Road, and 1 lane shut for roadworks on Grosvenor Place in town going southbound in towards the Victoria one-way system. It is busy from Hyde Park Corner because of that. Now, we had a broken down vehicle closing a lane on Oxford Street for westbound drivers approaching Marble Arch. That's been cleared. We're We're still looking at problems on the M25 for clockwise drivers. Just had a call, in fact, to say that the overhead signs in Essex are warning that the A2 has been shut coastbound just after the A280. If you can shed any light on this, then do give us a call. The number to catch us on is 08000 68 60 80. District Line still reporting no service between Putney Bridge and Wimbledon after an incident at Wimbledon. Victoria Line has delays, and Southern South West are running late out of Clapham. LBC 97.3 travel, your next update in 15 minutes with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973. The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
I now have a girlfriend as the direct result of the Iain Lee show.
रोजाना सुनिए Iain Lee 4 बजे से लेकर 7 बजे तक LBC 97.3 पर.
Hello, you. Oh, it's a cracking half hour. We're celebrating the magic of arguments. It's such an ill-conceived concept, but we're doing it. We're just about getting away with it. I had 2 cracking rows today. Slightly frustrating because both fellas drove away. So it was kind of unfinished. I guess that's partly why I'm carrying it on now. But I genuinely believe, hand on heart, that having an argument is, it's so cathartic. You can get rid of all of your tension, your anger, your stress. It can all come out in one. But the thing about argument, it's not just shouting. A lot of people are just phoning up with ill thought out, badly conceived arguments and ideas, and just shouting. And just sticking to a point and not listening or responding. That's not an argument. That's just being a little bit silly. That's how 12-year-olds argue. Every caller we've had in the last half hour argued like a 12. Argued worse than a 12-year-old, some of them. You can do better than that, can't you? If you want to have an argument with me, and we'll still be friends, and, you know, it'll be nice and stuff. But if you want to have an argument with me, give me a call. 0870 90 90 973. I will take the opposite standpoint. Sorry, Iain, I'm sitting in class and people are laughing at me for listening to you. Why? You should be working, for goodness sakes. Iain, we're getting lots of challenges on the text. Iain, I could easily beat you in an argument over Harry Potter. Don't be a coward. Phone in. Philip from South Norwood. If I say the Monkeys were a great group, would you argue with that? Philip, call in, you cowards. I will take the opposite viewpoint in any argument, and I will destroy you. You can't argue. And also, if you've got any tips on how these losers that have phoned up so far could argue better, then give us a call or a text, 0771 776 0973, or email ian@lbc.co.uk. And Suhaib has emailed in and reminded me today is the last day of the beard growing competition. So all of you hundreds of gentlemen and 2 or 3 ladies out there who've been taking part in the beard growing competition, email your pictures in today. We will collect the pictures at the end of the show and we will announce the winner tomorrow. I'm going to take a picture of my beard and Agent Chris's beard, put it on the website tomorrow. We'll decide who the winner is. Tina's in the Kent. Hello, Tina.
Hello, guys.
What?
Oh, no, sorry, he's a nice one. You must be Iain.
Oh, already you've gone in there with the cheeky... A compliment by calling me Clive, then a cheeky insult. Nice one, Tina. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm just wondering, this old moped malarkey, how do we know that he's not telling the truth and he obviously saw something we didn't?
Because you have to take my word for it, Tina.
Do you know what the truth is?
Yeah, I do know what the truth is, yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, I do. What happened today? The thing is, Tina, you listen to this station and to this show because you kind of rely that the person who's talking to you, i.e. me, David Prever, James O'Brien, is going to give you the truth. You have to kind of go along with that precept, otherwise the whole station doesn't work. So, if you think...
Have you finished? Sorry, go on.
This is it. This is what I'm talking about. This is a 12-year-old argument. A grown woman... Tina, shut up. I haven't finished. Tina, I haven't finished. This grown woman is responsible for a child. The best she can do, as her point of argument... Tina, let me finish a sentence. You're not listening. The best you can do is do a childlike snore. You shouldn't be responsible for children, Tina. You shouldn't be responsible for children, Tina.
You're brilliant.
It's good fun, isn't it?
It is.
It's cracking fun, isn't it, having a good round?
Because when you get on, you lose your thought. And I've got my children babbling in the background, and they're making more sense than you, so I'm now listening to them instead of you.
Tina, go and listen to your kids. It's good fun, this, isn't it? I'm loving it. I'm loving this. Oh, I do feel very excited. Paul's in the Harlow. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Iain. How are you?
Oh, Paul's already in the serious I'm not going to be swayed by anything this fool has to say. I'm going to concentrate on my weak argument. Paul, what can I do for you?
I don't have a weak argument. My argument for you is I actually don't argue with people.
Say that again, sorry?
I do not argue with people.
Okay.
And I find this show is such an excellent idea. I find it really good fun what you're doing, that you're actually making people argue with you.
Yeah. Paul, you've not seen through this at all, have you? You sound quite intelligent. You've not seen through this at all, have you? This is... What we're doing today...
You want an argument? I think that you could pass the police entry-level exam.
I thought that would... Paul, let's just stick with your first point. You're saying this is a brilliant idea for... This is the laziest, ill-thought-out, worst conceived, written on the back of a fag packet idea for an hour of broadcasting that has ever happened. And you think this is a good idea for a radio?
Yeah, you're still doing it.
Yeah, it is... Paul, because... I'll tell you why... Because me and my producer are lazy. We both got in a little bit late today. We had nothing better to do. This was us going, what can we get away with today? We read a load of texts yesterday. What rubbish can we get away with today? I know. Let's not even put out a topic. Let's get people to phone in with their own topic and we'll row about it. And you think that's good radio, do you?
The best ideas are the ones.
Paul, you are a fool, sir. You are an absolute fool.
And a dedicated listener.
It's good fun, isn't it?
Yes.
Cheers, mate. Listen, thank you for calling. 0870 9090 973. Oh, this is good, isn't it? This is good fun. If you want to have an argument, I will take the opposite viewpoint to you. I promise. And I will beat you in an argument. I've beaten everyone so far. All these people are texting in, oh, phone me up, I'll argue with you. No. You phone me up. Oh, Ian, you got me fired by my dad last week, live on air. Let's argue about that. I remember that. He wasn't very good at his job, Simon, if I seem to remember correctly. I thought I'd let your listeners know. Oh, I'm not even interested in that. Someone's just texting in Brentford. 2 people are texting in Brentford for some reason. I can't know why. Let's go to Hassan in East Ham. Hello, Hassan.
Oi, listen.
Yeah.
Right, I've had it up to here, with people thinking they own the pavement.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should walk on the left-hand side of the pavement, you understand?
So what, split the pavement into 2... Split the pavement in half, or have one person on one side of the road, the other people going on the other side?
No, of course not.
Hassan, put your point forward clearly and competently.
Listen. If it's a narrow, right?
Yeah.
You can't have people walking all over the place willy-nilly, right? You have to have people, some kind of structure. So people on the same pavement...
Hassan, bless you, listen, you can't even string a sentence together. This is embarrassing for everyone involved.
Listen.
You can't even verbalise your point or your argument. How are you going to win?
Hold on. No, don't behave like a 12-year-old. Listen. Everyone...
I'm listening.
Like, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, you should walk on the left-hand side of the pavement. People wouldn't bump into each other. Yeah. People wouldn't get in each other's way.
Hassan, you've explained this point so badly. Do you mean you're going to split one pavement in half?
No.
Or are people on the left-hand side of the road going to walk on the left, and people... Well, explain it properly, man.
I am explaining it. You're not listening.
I'm listening, and I'm not getting anything out of this.
If you're walking on one side of the road...
Yeah.
Right? And there's another person coming in the opposite direction to you.
Yeah.
If they're walking on the left and you're walking on the left, you will both be all right. You won't get in each other's way.
So you're splitting the pavement in half. That's what we're saying.
You're not splitting the pavement in half.
What are you... This is awful. What
do you mean it's awful?
This is awful. I've had better rows with my cat, Hassan.
Your comprehension isn't very good.
No, my comprehension is spot on. I tell you why I can't have an argument with you, Hassan.
Go on.
It's because when you go on Clive Ball's show, you let him call you Ashan.
Listen,
you haven't even got... No, let me finish. You haven't even got the spine or the backbone to correct Clive Ball and get him to get your name right. You let him call you Ashan when we know your name is Hassan.
No,
have some balls, man.
Oh, that. Hey, you can't
have some balls.
4:30 in the afternoon. Listen.
Go on.
Also, 2 people.
Hassan, quickly. This is good fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go on, carry on. Go on, carry on. I'm beating you, but carry on.
Shut up.
Come on.
Hey, listen, you can't have 2 people, right,
Yeah.
walking together on a narrow pavement. That's awful.
Supposing they're lovers.
Who cares? They can walk one behind the other.
Supposing one person's elderly and needs to be supported by someone else. You're going to see like
grab onto the shoulders of the other person and walk behind them.
Oh, now that's... grab onto the shoulders of someone and walk behind them? That's the best you've got, is it? If someone's elderly and needs to be supported, you'd let someone... Maybe they can't hold a walking stick. You'd let someone hold them by the shoulders.
A wheelchair?
Oh, yeah, because everyone can afford a wheelchair that needs it, can't they?
Oh, my God, go on. The NHS give you a wheelchair.
No, they don't. There's a 6-month waiting list.
Well, they can wait for 6 months.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Listen, Aslan, I can't argue with you because you don't have the guts to tell Clive Bull that your name isn't Ashran. Your name isn't Ashran, it's Asan.
Yeah.
Well, tell that to someone. Asan, listen, man, for God's sake, stick up for yourself. If someone gets your name right, if someone gets your name wrong, steam in there and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Bull. Yes, your show is excellent, but you've got my name wrong.
But it's good to be called different names, Ian.
It certainly is, isn't it, Lorenz?
Shut it.
0870. I'm loving this. 0870 9090 973. The concept is very simple for this hour. You phone up, whatever your argument is, I will take the opposite viewpoint. And I will beat you in an argument. Now, if you want to text in as well with some tips, all the arguments we've had have been really disappointing. I thought you'd have been a little bit better. Just awful. I would give you all the best for 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Any tips for arguers, then give us a text 0771 776 0973. But it's all good fun, isn't it? It makes you feel good, really. We'll have more of your arguments after we've had a little bit of this. It's now 4:44.
The Time with Heathrow Express, the fastest way to Heathrow Airport. Timing is everything.
If you want a profit from property, don't go round the houses. Take the Inside Track. Inside Track could show you how you could build a successful property portfolio. Attend the free introductory workshop to find out more. Call 0870 12 44 610 or log on to insidetrack.co.uk.
What's that, Hero? Johnny's trapped in the well? Who's Johnny? The barn's on fire? What barn? We live in Lewisham. Oh, the boys next door kicked a ball through the window, so now it needs replacing. Well, how can I get to do that? Oh, really? I will. Thanks.
When you're facing domestic disaster, call 24/7 Hero. Night or day, we'll get a tradesman to your door fast. The service is free and tradesman's performance is monitored. So next time your home needs an emergency repair, from roofing to plumbing, glazing to wiring, make sure you call 24/7 Hero. Call 0800 707 6767, 0800 707 6767, or see 247hero.co.uk. 24/7 Hero, the homeowner's best friend. Currently available inside the M25 only.
Time now to get the latest LBC 97.3 news headlines with Sandy Wall.
A man who murdered his girlfriend and then reported her missing last Valentine's Day has been jailed for life. A mother's at the High Court arguing that she should be told if her 13-year-old daughter ever tries to get an abortion. And police say they've stopped £22 million worth of Class A drugs getting onto London streets in the past 12 months. Heavy rain at first tonight will dry up though after midnight at 8 Celsius. Tomorrow much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12 Celsius.
Thank you, Sandy. We'll be back with more arguments after we've got the latest travel news from Simon Bennett.
And let's have a look at some of your calls. Thank you if you have called in on the jam line. I'll give you the number in just a tick. Pat, Jamaica Road, says solid out of town towards the Rotherhithe Tunnel, and Clive in Northolt on the A40 reporting a closure out of town with a serious accident at the Target roundabout. Queues there back to the Hanger Lane gyratory. Well, signs on the M25 warning that the A2 is closed, coastbound just after the A280. Still waiting on updates on this as to whether it's true or not. 08068 6080. Still the M3 closure out of town from the M25 to Junction 3 at Lightwater. Probably going to stay closed until 7:30 tonight. Drivers are diverting off at the M25 Junction 10 or 13. That's the A3 and Staines respectively. And in Purfleet, the A1306 Arterial Road shut London bound with an accident just after the A282. And public transport there. We've got District Line no service between Putney Bridge and Wimbledon following an incident. Victoria Line has delays, and Southern and South West reporting delays at Clapham Junction after a broken down train. LBC 97.3 travel. Your next update in 15 minutes with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
Some people talk about the weather. Some people only talk about themselves.
Some gossip, some tell tales.
Some rabbit, waffle and prattle. Some speak the truth.
Some speak out of turn.
Some people speak for us all.
Some make sense. Some make enemies.
Some make a fool of themselves.
And some people make us understand effortlessly where they're coming from.
Some people drive us up the wall.
And some people captivate us.
Everybody has something to say. Are you listening? London's LBC 97.3. Real life. Real London.
Off
Oxygen. Fantastic waterside apartments in Royal Victoria Docks. Moments from Olympic City and Canary Wharf. Due for completion in 2008. Be first to buy with prices from £235,000. Call 020-7055-8000. Premier launch Saturday and Sunday the 12th and 13th of November. Call 020-7055-8000 or log on to oxygen.co.uk.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Hello, you. We're having fun. We're having arguments today. We are having on-air arguments to prove not to be contentious, to be a shock jock. Remember that phrase? Oh, shock jock. That rubbish. Just to prove that arguments can be great fun, man. If you have the thing is, to make an argument good, you've got to have a well-constructed argument. You've got to be good. You've got to believe in it, be passionate. I am arguing you all out of the water. I won't give out the number. If you know the number, give us a call. The phones are racked up, so I won't give out the number. Before we go to Don in the Battersea, how would you like the chance to win copies of November's Book of the Month, Salem Falls by Jodie Picoult? I would like a copy of that. I don't know if I can blag it, but I should try. All you would do is join the LBC 97.3 Book Club and get a taster of Salem Falls by logging on to www.lbc.co.uk. And you could have your review posted on the LBC 97.3 website. Yes, it could happen to you. It's the LBC 97.3 Book Club, online and on air. Oh, coming up after 5... Me and Agent Chris have come up with what we think is the best topic has ever been discussed on Speed-Based Radio. Genuinely think is excellent. Listen to this, Maya, you fool. Here's a tip, Ian. When the caller is arguing back, turn down the volume on your mic so they have an equal chance when you talk over them. Because we've got an equal chance. The levels are exactly the same for my mic as it is for their phone. Coward. Ian, a tip for arguing is to speak loud and slow in a patronising way as if the other person is thick. They get in a right huff and all flustered and speak rubbish. From Andy in Croydon. Who I believe is a girl and wants to go to Paris with me. Well, I can't go to Paris with you, but it's a good point. Don is in the Battersea. Hello, Don.
Hello, Ian. How you doing?
I'm fine, mate. What can I do for you?
Listen, this business about you and the driving, right?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You're out of order. Do you know that? You're out of order because I can tell you exactly what you did,
yeah,
right?
Go on.
And the reason why you... No.
Tell me what I did, Don, because you weren't there. Tell me what I did.
Hold your wolfies, geezer.
Tell me what I did.
What you did is that you came to this roundabout, right, and you didn't indicate... Right, you didn't indicate what you did because, like, you 15 years of driving, you got into bad habits.
Yeah.
You approached the roundabout.
Okay.
You looked quickly left and right, and you proceeded, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw this driver who was probably just entering the roundabout, and you weren't indicating where you were going.
Right.
So as far as he's concerned, you could have been taking the first exit on the left. You could have been going straight, but you didn't indicate. Second, right? The guy.
No, Don. We do 1 point. Don. We do 1 point at a time. We do 1 point at a time. Because I can't remember all of your boring, ill-thought-out arguments. I can't be bothered to remember it. Shut up. Now listen. The thing is, Don, you weren't there. I did use my indicator. I'm not like you, Don. I'm not a lazy, rubbish driver. I haven't picked up bad habits. Any bad habits I picked up in my youth, I've discarded.
What car do you drive?
Shut up, Don.
Drive?
Don, let me finish. Any bad habits I've picked up in my youth, I've discarded as I've entered maturity. I'm a 32-year-old responsible driver that quite often has children in the back of my car, so I drive carefully, I drive safely, and I always indicate at roundabouts. I find Don, let me argue your point. I find it, Don. I find it offensive that you think I don't. Yeah, because I'm arguing the point that you've just put to me. Don, you've put a point to me. I'm arguing with it. Let me argue with it or not. If you want to just rant on, then rant on.
Winning, that's why.
No, Don, you're not. Don, do you want me to answer the point you put forward, or do you just want to ramble on and do a monologue? Because I will let you do a monologue.
You're getting upset now, aren't you?
Do you want to do a monologue?
No, you go on.
Okay. I always indicate when I get to roundabouts, Don, I drive responsibly, and it really LBCs me off when idiots don't know how to use roundabouts. They don't know you're supposed to indicate. They don't know who has the right of way.
All right.
Your second point.
Just to continue on from that, right? You say you're a responsible driver. What speed were you approaching that roundabout?
12 miles an hour.
See, you can't remember what speed you're approaching a roundabout. The guy said to you that you indicate. You said 12 miles an hour. You weren't driving at 12 miles an hour because the speed limit is 30 miles an hour. You'd have people tooting and telling you speed up.
Don.
Right? I don't believe you. And because this guy stepped forward and he saw you and you got upset, right, because he's come out from nowhere, as you claim. He actually saw you, and he came to the other guy's defence to say, listen, mate...
Get to the point, Don, you're boring.
You didn't have your indicator on, so if you would have had an accident, you would have had a witness
to the point, Don,
say
you're
that
boring.
you weren't getting... So, no.
Get to the point, Don, you're boring, and let me come in and I'll do it.
No, I am
Don,
at the point. The point is, right, you didn't indicate.
Don,
and you
no.
can't prove that you did indicate, because I don't believe you did indicate, right? And the guy, that's why he was screaming at you.
Don.
That's why someone at a roundabout shouts at you, right? Because he says, what are you
Don,
doing?
all right.
Why don't you indicate?
You're repeating
You
yourself,
indicate.
Don. You're repeating yourself now. Your point then was, I couldn't have been doing 12 miles an hour as I approached the roundabout. That's what you're saying. I should have been doing 30 miles an hour.
No, you couldn't
What,
have.
Don?
How do you know you're doing 12 mile an hour if you haven't got a digital clock? Because I know you've got an old Jing Bang car, right? You haven't got one of these new cars. You've got some old Jing Bang car and you didn't use your indicator. And the guy on the motorcycle saw you didn't use your indicator. You was going round it.
Don.
The other guy came out.
Don.
And you started screaming and shouting at him.
Don, do me a favour. Shut up.
No,
you don't know. No one approaches a roundabout. Only idiots like you, Don, in the Battersea, approach a roundabout. Shut up. Shut it. At 30, Don, only idiots like you, Don, approach a roundabout at 30 miles an hour. Are you insane? Do you not slow down? Let me finish, Don. You do not slow down when you approach a roundabout to see what's going on. You just approach it at 30 and just go round it. That's what you do, is it, Don?
Reverse psychology. Now you're trying to turn it round back on me when I actually told you what you were doing. I'm at a roundabout right now, mate, and I'm indicating...
And you're on the phone, are you, Don? You're on the phone?
No, hands-free, mate, hands-free.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, but you haven't even got hands-free.
Shame on you. No, I haven't got a hands-free. They're ridiculous. I don't use the phone when I'm in my car. I think it's ridiculous and obscene.
And you've got a mobile phone that I don't believe you. See, you're telling me again. Right, just like you saying that you was indicating you wasn't.
Don, shh. This is fun, isn't it?
It is
fun. It's good fun. Are you enjoying it?
I am.
How do you think you're doing? I would give you 4 out of 10 at the moment.
No, I think I did better than that.
What would you give yourself?
I think I'd give myself 5.5 because I think I actually proved the point, right?
You've not proved anything.
I have proved the point.
You've not proved anything.
I have proved
Don, you proved nothing.
I have proved the point.
And now all you're doing now is just repeating what you've just been saying. This is cracking fun, isn't it? I've got a little bit quieter in my ears. Would I have nudged a switch or something? Has something happened there? I don't quite know what's happened. Maybe I've actually gone deaf. Well, that seems a bit better. Did anything change? Ah, there we go. Bless you. Helen behind the glass, lower my mic 'cause I'm shouting too much. I'll come off mic the next time I shout. I apologise. I think I'm sending all the needles crazy. We're arguing. This is fun, isn't it? He was the best so far. He was rubbish, but he was the best so far. Can you do better than that? 0870 90 90 973.
If you could learn the secrets of stock market millionaires, would you listen very carefully?
Hi, I'm Darren Winters. I've taught over 12,000 people my strategies to generate immediate monthly cash flow and incredible long-term wealth from investing in the stock market. Whether complete beginner or expert, I'd like to show you how I believe you could maximize your returns whether the stock market goes up, down or sideways. In my free 3-hour seminar, I'll also share with you my 3 essential skills to knowing exactly what to buy, when to buy and when to sell, and reveal how I believe you could produce a second income from investing just 1 hour per week. I'll also explain why I feel right now could be one of the best times ever to start investing in the stock market.
These free seminars, Your Way to Stock Market Wealth, are taking place in London and Heathrow this month, at times to suit everyone. Places are limited, so book your free ticket now on 0870 112 1234. That's 0870 112 1234, or go to wininvesting.co.uk.
The 3-hour, 4 till 7, Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
That was the best argument so far. Well done. That was the best one. Still bad. Still, I've had better arguments with 13-year-olds in a playground, but that was pretty darn good. Adam's in the Twickenham. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Iain.
Are you enjoying this?
I am indeed,
yeah. It's good fun, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Oh, I'm buzzing here, but go on.
I just wanted to talk about Clive Ball and how sort of rubbish he is, really.
Sorry?
Just wanted to talk about Clive Ball and how
Why do you think Clive Ball's rubbish?
Oh, his topics are just so boring, and it's just sort of something you listen to go to sleep to. It's never anything interesting.
Adam,
I mean, your show is sort of much better.
No, not at all. This show is a watered-down version of what Clive Ball does. Clive Ball has been at this station, 20 years? Something like that. The longest employee at LBC 97.3 is Clive Ball. You don't last 20 years in a job, Adam, unless you are absolutely brilliant. And the way... I tell you why Clive Ball's a genius. And Clive Ball
but your show is much better.
Nothing. This show is... If Clive Ball gets 100%, this gets 10% in comparison. Clive Ball is a genius because, whereas when I'm in here, you can hear me pushing the button metaphorically. You can hear me tapping people and getting them wound up. Clive Ball does very little. He just sits there, he'll just chip in every now and then, and he'll get people wound up by doing so little. That is the sign of a master. I am just merely a student sitting at the feet of the governor that is Clive Ball.
Yeah, but he's such a wuss as well, isn't he? I mean, like he was talking about the other day. I mean, there's no way he'd take you in a fight or anything.
Well, come on, the thing is, I would have to resort to talking about fighting and stuff like that because I haven't got the intellect, I haven't got the skill or the experience that Clive Ball has got. Clive Ball can crush me in so many more imaginative, intuitive ways. The man's a broadcasting genius. Clive Ball gets the highest listening figures on this show, on this station go to Nick Ferrari, which is what you get for a breakfast show. This show should get the second highest figures. It doesn't. Clive Bull's show gets the second highest listening figures to any show on this station. And that's, he's on at 11 o'clock at night, and yet he's still pulling in the second biggest listening figures on this station, Adam. The man is a genius.
People are just listening to go to sleep because they're not interested. It's just something background
Most
noise to go to sleep.
people go to sleep without any sound at all. The fact they bother to tune into a radio station so that they can go to sleep with someone, it's so personal to have a man talking to you while you're falling asleep. Most people don't want it, but yet most of London wants to listen to Clive Bull while they fall asleep, which is one of the greatest compliments you can pay anybody, Adam. To say to somebody, would you mind talking to me while I fall asleep? That's such an intimate thing to ask. The man's a genius. Adam, good try. Good try. 0870 90 90 973 is the telephone number. Oh, I am loving this. We'll keep this going through the next hour a bit. If you want to have an argument, I will take the opposite viewpoint to you. I will argue. I will destroy your argument. All of your arguments so far have been rubbish. The best we've had was that fella. Was it Don? I think it was Don. I would give him a 4.5. That's not good. Out of 10. You can do better than that, can't you? Do you think you can? 0870 909. And don't just come and go, oh, well, no. Do better than that, for goodness sakes. And coming up in the next hour, as well as your arguments, I have here the best topic you will ever hear. Not only on this show, not only on this station, on any speech-based phone-in radio show anywhere in the world, we have come up with the best topic. 0870 90 90 973. We'll reveal more after the latest LBC 97.3 news.
Available on DAB Digital Radio. London's LBC 97.3.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Sandy Wall. A man who reported his girlfriend missing on Valentine's Day has been jailed for life for her murder. Paul Dyson strangled 22-year-old Joanne Nelson after what he claimed was a row about housework at their home in Hull. The judge said he must serve at least 16 years in jail before being considered for parole. Hundreds of Tibetans and human rights activists are to stage a die-in outside Buckingham Palace tonight, where the Chinese president will be guest of honour. Protesters want to draw attention to what they call China's reign of terror in Tibet. There were complaints of heavy-handed policing on a previous visit to London, but Sky's Foreign Affairs editor Tim Marshall says this time the approach is more diplomatic.
They take the softly approach, lay out the red carpet, and then in the middle of the negotiations about trade, the environment, you also say, now look, we do have these issues on human rights. And the arguments that they put are twofold. One, they don't believe the Blair government in such a thing as Western values and Asian values. They say there are world values, international values, and that torture is against these international values. And secondly, on the economic front, they say history shows that an open society is usually economically stronger. And of course, you're going to need to be as economically strong as you can be, given the problems you've got back home with 1.25 billion people and your expanding economy.
We'll have more on the Chinese state visit on the nightly news tonight after 7 o'clock. Police tell us they've stopped £22 million worth of Class A drugs getting onto London's streets. 108 people have been charged and hundreds of kilos of cocaine heroin seized during the first year of a new operation. The Met says the Special Task Force targeting the middlemen who link the major drug traffickers to pushers on the street. The French government's bringing in 50-year-old laws to crack down on the country's riots. Local authorities have been given powers to keep people off the streets between 10 at night and 6 in the morning. The violence began in Paris suburbs but has spread across the country over the past 12 nights. Sky's Michelle Clifford says the law comes into force at midnight tonight.
It doesn't mean that what we're going to see tomorrow is some sort of mass lockdown in France. It will be at the discretion of local officials to decide if they need to enforce controls at certain times and for how long.
A mother of 2 teenage daughters is challenging guidelines which allow children to have abortions without telling their parents. Currently, doctors are allowed to respect the confidentiality of under-16s, but Sue Axton from Manchester believes parents have a legal right to be consulted. Pro-life campaigner Julia Millington says UK rules contradict themselves.
If a teacher wants to give a child an aspirin or a paracetamol, parental consent must be obtained. If a child plays truant from school, the mother can go to jail, and yet parents aren't entitled to know if their daughter is pregnant. Clearly that's a contradiction that needs to be addressed.
England have delayed their verdict on whether Michael Vaughan will be able to feature in the first test against Pakistan. It's been revealed the captain will travel with the rest of the team to Multan ahead of Saturday's match. Vaughan will then undergo further tests. The weather, heavy rain at first. It will dry up, though, after midnight at 8 Celsius. Tomorrow, much cooler, a mixture of sunshine, cloud and a high of 12 Celsius. LBC weather with Well Woman Advanced Nutrition Capsules from Vitabiotics. Available from chemists and health stores or visit wellwoman.com. It's 3 minutes past 5.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
Thank you, Ian. M3 shut away from London from the M25 to Junction 3 at Lightwater after an accident. A car and a lorry involved there. Unlikely to reopen before 7:30 this evening, we're told. So drivers are coming off the M25 at either Junction 10 or 13. That's the A3 and Staines, respectively. We've also got a closure. No, it's not a closure now. It's the A40 out of town. It's down to one lane at the Target roundabout following an accident. Queues back to Hanger Lane there. One lane shut for roadworks on Grosvenor Place southbound. This is in town going into the Victoria one-way system. So from Hyde Park Corner, so quite busy there. And the Limehouse link tunnel still shut away from London following repair works after a fire last week. It will stay closed until next Monday. District line delays after an incident at Wimbledon. We've now got delays on the Victoria line, and Southern and South West reporting delays at Clapham Junction after a broken down train. Stay with us. Your next update 15 minutes away. LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you. And now for Flight Watch, looking good at Heathrow. The BA 8:05 flight to Hamburg from Terminal 1 looks set to get away on time. If you're flying to Newcastle, we've got a delay on the BA 20:08 flight out of the North Terminal, so just be warned about that. Stansted and Luton, all flights reporting that they're leaving on time. And London City, no delays to flights, but because of the Limehouse link closure, journeys to the airport by road may be a bit tricky, so you might want to consider using public transport, either the Jubilee or DLR to Canning Town, and then you can hop on the shuttle bus to the airport. Your next travel update at 5:15.
London's LBC 97.3 Flight Watch with MaxJet.com, the affordable all-business class service from Stansted to New York JFK. London's LBC 97.3.
The man who invented Yakult wasn't called Mr. Yakult, which says a lot about the man who invented Yakult and how he wanted his probiotic to help people, not make him famous.
Your Spanish dream home is closer than you think. The ultimate Spanish property show comes to Watford and Kempton this Friday the 11th till Sunday the 13th of November. It's a huge event where you can find out about hundreds of holiday and investment homes on the sun-kissed costas. You can enjoy free legal, medical and financial advice about moving to Spain from experts flying in especially to answer all your questions. The ultimate Spanish property show, 12 till 8 this Friday and 10 till 5 Saturday and Sunday at Watford Football Club and Kempton Park.
London's LBC 97.3 0870 90 90 973. The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Iain Lee says cruises are for chavs and common people. Well, he'd have to say that. He can't afford to go on one, poor soul.
Basically got this guy's bottom stuck in my face as he's bending over the machinery, but at least he's trying to get my thing out.
Feeling tired? You probably need a good lie down. Get a bed. Beds. Sponsors of the Iain Lee Show.
We're loving the beds. We're loving the beds. Oh, Maya, phone in. Stop being the coward of the text. For Don's argument, I'll give him a 7 and give you a 3. He beat you hands down, which is why you ended the call swiftly. Oh, here we go. There's a ninja behind you. Elbow in the face. It's as simple as that. It's easily done. Hello, Maxie. All right. Maya's just sending it. There's a difference between arguing and just being nasty and sniping being a little bit childish. And that's what people like Maya do. It's going to be a little bit nasty. I'm going to send a text and I'm going to run away because I don't want to talk to him because he would eat me up and destroy me. Get a life, Maya. Ah, this is fun today. We are arguing. We're celebrating the magic of arguments. There's a TV show. Celebrating the magic of arguments. But also, as well as arguing, we do have, to be revealed now, the best topic ever on any radio show ever. I'm going to throw this out. You might not think it's the best topic, but think about it, it is. Duvets or sheets and blankets? Which is it? Now. No. Ah, we lost some of them. Some of them are switched off. I could hear that. No. It's genuinely brilliant. Think about it. When was the last... Is there anybody in this country who still uses sheets and blankets to make their bed? I remember when... Do you remember when duvets were called continental quilts? It was about the same time we used to call cappuccino frothy coffee. It was in the late 70s. You know what I mean? We were very unsophisticated people, the British. I think... if I remember correctly, duvets, or continental quilts, came into this country about 1978, 79... Is that about right? Agent Chris is 7 years younger than me. He's never known a world where there's not been duvets in the house. I remember when duvets were brought in, we had to be taught, it's absolutely true, had to be taught how to sleep in a duvet. Because the very first night you get a duvet, and you've only ever slept in sheets and blankets, you wake up in the morning, the duvet's on the floor. So we had to be taught how to make duvets work. So can someone let me know? When were duvets brought into this country? Do you still call them continental quilts? And does anybody in their home use sheets and blankets to make their bed? Agent Chris, I'm surprised by him. This is... Sorry, I just wolfed down a Tesco cheese and onion sandwich a little bit too quickly. It's maybe a little bit windy, Pops. I can only apologise for that. Sorry, this is terribly unprofessional. Agent Chris has one of these sheets that has elasticated edge. For convenience, I've used them, they're convenient. But because he doesn't know how you tuck a sheet in. If you've got a real sheet, a normal sheet, and you're making the bed, he doesn't know how you tuck the sheet in. He said, well, I did not think you had to do that, is it? This is Agent Chris in his Welsh accent. I was not aware you could tuck in a sheet. I thought you had to do it. I didn't know you'd do it. But I remember as a kid, this is what different worlds we grew up in. It's a good accent, isn't it? I remember as a kid, on record breakers, every week you get some fit nurses breaking the world record for making the bed. Oh, it's 11.4 seconds. You're a record breaker. You're a record breaker. Does anybody use sheets and blankets in their home? 0870 9090 973. When was the continental quilt? It was a revolution, the continental quilt. Oh, what it does. In the winter, it keeps you really warm. But in the summer, it keeps you really cool. That was the selling point. It was the same time we got muesli over here, I think. 0870 9090 973 is the telephone number. It is the best topic in the world. To prove it, we go live now to Patrick in the Battersea. Hello, Patrick.
How you doing?
It's a cracking topic, isn't it?
It is superb.
Thank you, sir. Patrick, do you use sheets and blankets or duvets?
Duvet.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping we'd get a call in saying I used to. Patrick, may I ask how old you are?
40.
40. So, listen, we're on the same side. You'll remember when the continental quilt came into usage in this country, won't you?
I do clearly remember.
Tell me when it was, Patrick, and tell me your story.
It was round about 1973, because I remember being about 8 years old.
Okay.
And I went to school with a kid called Gareth Marsh.
Yeah. Marshy! Marshy!
No, it wasn't even like that. He was very posh.
Oh, okay.
His dad was a teacher, and they used to live in Sheen.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
So we were discussing, what we have on our beds at school, as little boys do.
Yeah, of course.
And he said, I sleep with a continental quilt.
And you're like 8 years old. What the hell is that?
That's right. We were wondering, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And we went around asking. Only a couple of teachers knew what it was.
Yeah.
And then, as time went on...
It's funny you should say 73. I thought it was 78, but I must admit we were quite poor and we lived on a very rough council estate in Slough, so we were probably about 5-6 years behind everybody else.
That's what I'm thinking, because no one in Battersea had the continental quilt.
No. And but do you remember when they became duvets? I don't remember the move from the continental quilt to the duvet.
I think it's about the time we started calling cafes, I think.
Oh, yeah. They were funny days, the old days, weren't they? And Patrick, do you have an elasticated sheet around your bed, or do you tuck it in?
Well, some of the beds in the house have the elasticated, fitted sheet, as it were.
The fitted sheet.
and some have the one with the quilty bit round the bottom. You know what I mean? The fluffy bit round the bottom.
Yeah, and you'd have to tuck it in and fold it, wrap it like a parcel.
No, there are other ones that you put on that look like bed curtains. Do you know what I mean?
What, around the bottom of the bed?
Around the bottom of the bed. Some of the beds have that.
But that's not a sheet, though. That's the valance.
Oh, that's what I mean, the valance.
Oh, Patrick, you've embarrassed yourself on live radio in front of 25 other listeners. Patrick, listen, thank you for that. So we're saying 73 is when the continental quilt came into usage. I can't believe that it's so upsetting that there are young people who live in a world where Agent Chris thought the continental quilt, the duvet, was a British invention. No, it was imported. Can we get... Is there an historian out there who knows the true story of the continental quilt, where it came from? And anybody out there uses sheets and blankets in their house. Let's very quickly go to Linda in the West Wickham. Hello, Linda.
Oh, hi, Ian. I just rung up to have a bit of an argument with you, really.
Go on, you won't win.
Won't I?
No.
I'm just ringing to say how good I think Iain Lee is on the radio.
Linda,
Do you know who he is? He's a presenter on LBC.
Linda, I've heard of him. You genuinely think he's a good presenter?
I think he's absolutely
Tell me one thing he's done that's been good.
He's incredibly witty, don't you agree?
No, I think he's slow. I think he bases his entire act as a mixture of Danny Baker, Clive Bull and Chris Morris. If he was any good, Linda, do you think he'd be on a local radio station? He'd still be on Channel 4, wowing the crowds, wouldn't he? The guy had his chance, he blew it, he's a loser, he's a second-rate Jimmy Carr.
Well, I'm sorry. I remember Iain Lee on Rise, and I can't begin to imagine why they took it off the radio, because it was so brilliant.
Linda, they took it off the television because it was cack, and nobody watched it. I'm only cutting you off there, Linda, because we've got to go to a break now, but it was a good try. I'd still only give you a 3.5. 0870 9090 973. Arguments and duvets or sheets. It's 5:14.
The Time with Heathrow Express. The fastest way to Heathrow Airport. Timing is everything.
Mr. I'm all right, Jack. Isn't that all right? He doesn't know how he'll pay the mortgage, or how to tell his wife their dream home could be repossessed. He tries to bury his head in the sand, but he's fooling no one, not even himself. And despite what he might think, his wife knows something's wrong. Which is why she's calling Fast Track Home Buyers for help on 0845 257 1683. Fast Track Home Buyers can buy your house within days without charging you any fees and rent it back to you whilst you find your financial feet. And you can even buy it back after just 3 years. Conditions apply. Visit fasttrackhomebuyers.co.uk or call 0845 257 1683 now. Fast Track Home Buyers. Free the stress. Escape the debt.
It's time now for the latest LBC 97.3 news headlines with Sandy Wall.
31-year-old's been jailed for life for murdering his girlfriend in a row over laundry. A defence lawyer in Saddam Hussein's trial has been killed in a drive-by shooting. And the Chinese president will be treated to a state banquet at Buckingham Palace this evening. It's all part of his state visit. Heavy rain at first. Tonight it will dry up, though, after about midnight. A low of 8 Celsius. Tomorrow much cooler. A mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now with Simon Bennett.
M1 looking busy from 6A up towards 9. 25-minute delays flagged up on the satellite data. Over to Surrey now. Ian, thank you for your call. A30 London Road, solid out of town from the Crooked Billet to beyond the M25. This is all down to the M3 closure, which I'll cover for you now. That's closed away from London from junction 2 to 3. The M25 to Lightwater. It was an accident involving a car and a lorry. Investigation work continues. I'm afraid unlikely to see that reopen before 7:30 this evening, so stay with us for all the very latest. A40 down to one lane heading away from London at the Target roundabout because of a bad accident. Queue stretching back to Hanger Lane, no surprise there. For the tubes, we've got less frequent service running on the District and the Victoria lines, and Southern and South West reporting delays at Clapham Junction, that following a broken down train. Stay with us, your next update 15 minutes away. LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
How long does a minute last when you're in traffic or waiting for the tube? Never anytime you're stuck in London, click across to AM, to our other LBC station, where the travel news is even more frequent than it is on this one. On LBC News 11:52, you're never more than 10 minutes away from the next travel update. Set it on one of your radio preset buttons. LBC News 11:52 AM, non-stop news for London.
One of the best things in life is TV. But I would rather it was scheduled around me not being funny. That's what I want.
You can now rent hundreds of the latest and classic movies straight from your television. Because Teleport from TeleWest offers a vast film library. You just press a button on your remote control and it's there whenever you want it.
That's what I want.
It's new, it's unique, it's TV you control, only from TeleWest. If you live in a TeleWest area, call 0800 953 5000 or go to telewest.co.uk for a demonstration.
Iain Lee. The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Yeah, Agent Chris, I'm going to put out a plea for a specific call. If this person calls in, can you put them through? What it is? We need a bit of help. Ash has emailed in. Iain, it's Ashley from the Wimbledon. Can you give me a quick recap of what's happened in the first hour of the show? I can't be bothered. If you, listening, want to call in and just give a quick 30-second recap of the first hour of the show, 0870 9090 973. We're specifically looking... this is for Ash, who, for some reason, I don't know why, wasn't listening to the first hour of the show. He wants... he or she, I'm guessing it's a he, wants a recap of the first hour of the show. If you want to give that recap, you're more than welcome. The telephone number is 0870 9090 973. If a person calls through to do that, we will put them straight through. But if no one calls in to do that, then we won't put them through. It's as simple as. Iain, I am not going to give my name, as I use fitted sheets, blanket, and a duvet. There you go. Duvets are excellent, but changing the cover is a nightmare. Any tips most welcome? Yes, Malco, I do have an excellent tip. You have the duvet cover inside out, and you hold the corners, and you grab the thing, and it's simple. It does work. I learned that on a program called Bazaar, hosted by Neris Hughes. Seriously, I remember it very well. You have it inside out, you grab it, and it's all very complicated. Iain, fab topic. Duvets, definitely the best invention ever, especially on a double bed. I can't tuck in sheets either, so I use elastic. I'm in my duvet now. They should sponsor you. Well, we're sponsored by Beds. So we can't get too many sponsors. And I've got to say, Beds are cracking. I'm actually holding my thumbs up there. 0870 9090 973. Does anybody use sheets and blankets? I don't think so. It was such a sigh of relief from collectively from mothers all over the country when duvets, continental quilts first came in. It was like, what? I don't have to spend hours making the bed again? I can just shake this thing a little bit and it'll look made? And if anybody wants to call in, I'll understand if you don't want to. It's quite a boring chore. If anyone wants to call in and recap the first hour of the show for Ash, then give us a call, 0870 9090 973. Gary's on the North Circular. Hello, Gary.
Right, let's get this driving thing in perspective.
He's in. He's straight in there. I love it. Straight, not even a nicety. He's in there.
600 miles today, not had an argument with no one.
Come on, mate.
And then you turn round, you've had an argument with a bloke on a bike, and then you've got the balls to turn around and say, if he would have got off the bike, I would have drove away, just like a woman.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Gary, are you seriously...
You're giving... No, wait, I ain't finished. You're giving it laughs to the geezer on the bike.
This is good.
Yeah, and if he gets off, you ain't got no ball.
Yeah.
So you're the one without any balls, telling all of us that we ain't got any balls. I've never heard so much fluff in all my life. Well, come on. So what would you done if you'd have got off the bike? As you said, just pulled away and gone, ha, ha, ha. Yeah? But you ain't got the bottle to get out and go, come on, mate, let's have some. And it's people like me that have to come up and tidy up after you because you ain't got a bottle to stand up for your own battles. Come on, you've gone really quiet on me, I can't hear nothing. Until that geezer in the studio who says a load of things about aircraft, he knows nothing about flying. He's just reading it off the screen and he reckons he knows what time they're going. I've never heard so much fluff in one night. Where are you? Where are you? Come on, speak up, Iain. I think I've won this one, Iain. We'll call this 1-0, eh, bruv? See, that's all you got to do. You got to stand up to your right, get out of the car and go to the geezer. You said my indicator was on.
You want some, mate? Let's take it on the curb. But no, you stayed in your car just like a typical poxy driver.
Gary, can I come in now?
Yeah, when you're ready.
I can come in now. Sorry, the reason I wasn't speaking, I was so shocked that let me get this right. You genuinely think the best way to resolve this incident was for two men to get out of and off their respective vehicles and actually have a fight in the street?
No, but
what were you saying? Sorry, you were saying, Gary, you implied...
You have children in your car. These two geezers could have took your number plate. Tonight you'll be sitting at home having a nice...
Gary, you're changing your argument. Gary, you're changing the argument. You're changing the argument.
No,
your point was, Gary...
You want to sort it out there and then.
Gary, what you're saying is...
Got out and let they finish it.
What do you mean by sort it out?
Sort it out, go to him, look, do you want to take this further, mate? Because we're going over there behind the bush, the old school way, and...
The old school way. Gary, listen, I need to work out, what do you mean by the old school way? Do you mean fighting?
Well, whatever way you used to do it in your school. In my school, we used to use things.
So you mean... Hang on, this gets even worse, this is even more shocking. So you mean fighting with weapons?
No, you could have got out and hit him with your handbag.
So what you're saying is...
That's what it sounds like, Ian. You're sounding like an handbag merchant.
What you're saying, Gary, is... This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is the kind of violent thug... The violent thug that listens to this show. Gary, you genuinely think... Sorry, I want to get this one thing straight. And because you're being so incoherent, so rambling and so shouty and so aggressive, I can't quite work out what your point is. You're genuinely saying, I should have had a fight with someone... Violence was the best. Violence was the best way. Gary, shut your mouth.
Go on.
Shut your mouth. I'm speaking now, mister. I'm speaking now, mister. I'm talking now, Gary. You've had 5 minutes of not being interrupted. I'm talking now. You think the best way to solve a situation is to have a fight. It's for two men to punch the living cack out of each other. You genuinely think that's a good way to resolve an issue, do you, Gary?
Ian, did you think the best way was to give it the large...
You're an idiot.
...shouting at two blokes where you could turn round and gone to them...
Yeah, I do.
Hold on, mate. Don't worry about it. You was wrong. Never mind. All the best. Have a lovely...
Gary...
But no, you wanted to have an argument and give it the large.
Yourself to be an idiot.
Your mistake.
Gary, very quickly, this is good fun, isn't it? Are you loving this?
I'm loving it. I do this for a living.
Really? Quickly, before we go back, what do you do for a living, Gary?
Close protection officer.
What do you mean? So you're not a copper?
No, I'm a bodyguard.
So hang on a second. You couldn't even pass the test to become a police officer, which is one of the easiest tests in the world. So you're a bodyguard to poxy celebrities and pop stars. Your solution, Gary. Gary,
coppers over here are fluff.
Gary, I'm going to let you finish your argument and put the phone. I'm going to let you put the phone down because you're embarrassing yourself. You put your phone down. You're embarrassing yourself.
Right. Now listen to this.
Gary, I'm going to let you put your phone down.
Counter-terrorism, VIP protection from Israel.
Right. Okay.
These coppers over here are like they're on an holiday camp.
Gary, your pumps
we use real
too
we
full.
have to protect people like you, Ian. Give it the mouth.
Too full of testosterone to even think. Gary, I'm going to let you say goodnight and put your phone down because you've embarrassed yourself.
Good night, Ian. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Lovely fella. Put the phone down. This is cracking. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Oh, if you just tuned in, these arguments, by the way, they're kind of for real in that we're both feeling very passionate, but we're doing it to prove that arguing is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And also to prove that none of you can argue properly. I've not had one decent argument. Not one yet. If you think you can do better, give us a call. John's in the Fulham. Hello, John.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm loving this today.
I was listening to that. I think Dad should go and lie down on his continental quilt.
Now, John, without being rude, you sound like a slightly older gentleman.
Yeah.
Do you remember
47.
47?
Right.
Well, do you remember when the continental quilt came into usage in this country?
I remember because we used to have this geezer used to come around with a suitcase.
Oh, I love it.
Like, we were poor, you know what I mean? We were like, and he'd come out with a suitcase selling curtains, blankets and towels and all.
Yeah.
And my mum used to pay it weekly.
Yeah.
And we learnt how to tuck in the sheets like the envelope at the side.
Some of the kids... My producer can't tuck a sheet. He's never tucked a sheet in.
He needs to speak to his nan.
Brilliant. Of course he needs to... Nans know all this. This is old school. So this fella used to come round.
Right, he used to come round and, you know, every week we pay him whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So one week we used to get like the big posh blankets, like a velvet blanket, like with a tiger on it or some Asian thing on it. You know, that was the dog at the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he came round with a quilt.
Yeah.
Never seen one in my life. My old man thought it was like some puffed up curtain or something.
Yeah.
Right. Then he taught us how to put the cover on it.
Oh.
Put it inside out.
Yeah.
And put it on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know, it was full of feathers.
Yeah.
So we thought it was a bit, you know, just a bit pooftish.
A little bit pooftish. I don't know if that word's still usable, but yes, a little bit pooftish.
But back in them days, we thought, you know, it ain't
Very
right.
quickly, John, we've only got 20 seconds left.
Right, anyway, we learned, the quilt came, then the electric blanket came.
Yeah.
Then the electric blanket came, but we used to call it continental quilt.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's what they were in those days. And with the added bonus of the electric blanket, man, you were hot. John, just moving on, just so we've got to go have a break. We'll have more of your texts after this.
Last month, when the Mayor, Ken Livingstone, was on with Nick Ferrari, things didn't go so smoothly.
There are 3 ingredients required for a phone-in with the Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone. One of them is me. The other one is you to make the calls or send the emails. The third one would be Mayor Ken Livingstone. He is delayed.
Here's what happened next.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. The Jubilee line's got delays. The S1 line's down.
Will the Mayor be on time this time? He's here to take your calls tomorrow morning. Nick Ferrari at breakfast, weekday mornings from 7, London's LBC 97.3.
Do something memorable. Test drive the new iGo by Toyota. Drive away from just 6745 or deposit of £149. See igo.co.uk.
In marketing, ad avoidance is the new buzzword. To find out about the latest research, I spoke to Professor Dean Wilson, an expert in this area and other parts of Britain. Professor Wilson.
It's Doctor.
Sorry, Professor Doctor. What is ad avoidance?
It's when consumers ignore advertising. For example, people actively avoid nearly a third of all TV ads.
By shutting their eyes.
By changing channels or going to the kitchen.
Oh, yes.
A cup of tea.
Oh, thank you.
It's even higher for newspapers and direct mail. People often put that straight in the bin.
I always stick it in my neighbour's letterbox.
But that's not the case with radio.
Well, it wouldn't fit.
Of the media sampled, radio had the joint lowest level of ad avoidance.
How do you know that?
Well, we researched
in a laboratory.
We did tests.
Not on animals?
No, with consumers.
They weren't in cages?
No.
Good. So, to find out more about low ad avoidance on radio, go to rab.co.uk. And no animals were hurt in the making of this commercial.
Iain Lee. The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
This is... I'm going to read out this text. It's completely irrelevant. Iain, I saw this morning earlier, Jodie Kidd and her sister Gemma are on. The sister is older and much better looking. Gorgeous. Well, thanks for the tip, but, and who keeps texting in the word Brentford? Iain, you could have got out of your car and hit him with a sleeper, for goodness sakes. Derek says, the trouble is, my man, that arguing only makes you feel good if you win the argument. So you're going to win all the arguments this afternoon. All your loving, loyal listeners are going to feel rubbish. Well, they should argue better. Here's the news.
Available on DAB Digital Radio.
London's LBC 97.3. At 5:30, I'm Sandy Waugh. A man who reported his girlfriend missing on Valentine's Day has been jailed for life for her murder. Paul Dyson strangled 22-year-old Joanne Nelson in their home in Hull. Hundreds of Tibetans and human rights activists are to stage a die-in outside Buckingham Palace tonight, where the Chinese president will be guest of honour at a banquet. Protesters want to draw attention to what they call China's reign of terror in Tibet. The Chinese president is here on a state visit. A British tourist has been shot dead in a Ugandan national park. A military spokesman says the killing was carried out by 2 rebels from the Lord's Resistance Army. A mother of 2 teenage daughters is challenging guidelines which allow children to have abortions without telling their parents, the challenge being mounted at the High Court. At the moment, doctors are allowed to respect the confidentiality of those under 16 years old. Work to make nearly all our busiest motorways 4 lanes in each direction is likely to start in 2008. The possible date for the M25 widening was given by the Highways Agency. It's inviting bids for the contract, worth around £1.5 billion. The busiest western section of the M25 is currently being extended to 5 and 6 lanes in places. Police say they've stopped £22 million worth of Class A drugs getting onto London's streets. 108 people have been charged and hundreds of kilos of cocaine and heroin have been seized in the first year of a new anti-drugs operation. The Met say the Special Task Force is targeting the middlemen who link the major drug traffickers to pushers on the street. A former financial consultant is beginning 12 years in jail after helping himself to more than a little extra. Graham Price's 4-year scam, in which he stole £10 million from Halifax investors, came to light when an auditor found an IOU note in the safe. Later in London at 7 o'clock at the Dana Centre at the Science Museum, they're talking about genes and how they influence the way we behave in the environment we're brought up in. The weather, rain at first tonight, will be heavy too. It will dry up though after midnight with a low of 8. Tomorrow much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12 Celsius. It's 5:32.
Thank you, Sandy. More of your arguments and stories about duvets. Yeah, after the latest travel news from Simon Bennett.
M3 closed out of town from the M25 at junction 2 down towards 3 at Lightwater. Accident involving a car and a lorry about an hour and a half ago now. Probably won't open before 7:30 this evening, so in the meantime you've got a fair amount of traffic to face in front of you. Drivers are diverting off the M25 at junction 10 and 13, the A3 and Staines respectively. Also the M4, because of this, looking particularly slow going towards Reading from the M25 out towards junction 7 at Slough. A30 London Road, solid from the Crooked Billet towards, beyond the M25 because of that closure of the M3. New one for you, North Circular Road at New Southgate. If you're heading eastbound, you're going to hit a queue. Got a jackknife lorry at the traffic lights at Bowes Road where you take that hard right. It's a lorry that was trying to turn and has managed to get itself stuck, so delays on the cards for you there. And down to one lane still on the A40 out of town at the Target roundabout with an accident. Still those queues back to Hanger Lane. District and Victoria lines have delays. Delays also to Southern and Southwest. Your next update comes in 15 minutes. LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Hello, you. It's fun today, isn't it? I hope you're enjoying it. I'm having a cracking time. We're arguing. We're celebrating the magic of perhaps the greatest British invention ever, the argument. It's so cathartic. Seriously, after you have a good argument, and quite often after you have a good argument, you end up having really good sex. Because, especially if you argue with your partner, you make up and it's passionate and aggressive and you get everything out. But after a good argument, it feels good, doesn't it? You just got this blood running through you, endorphins pumping through your brain. It is like a high. It's like a high. It's an amazing feeling. I'm experiencing this for the last hour and 34 minutes. If you want to have an argument with me, and we'll still be friends after it. One or two people have taken this a little bit too seriously and got a little... I'm getting some very nasty texts. But one or two people have taken this the wrong way. And they got a little upset. They've been hanging up without a couple of swears, and I apologise for any swears that may have slipped through. But we're still friends, okay? We're still in love with each other after this, so don't panic. All right, but it's just very good fun. We're also asking, does anybody use sheets under blankets? Anybody? No. No one does anymore, do they? Do they? It's a big effort to do. Obviously, all right, they use them in hospitals, and they use them in hotels, and they don't use duvets in those places. Why? Is it a hygiene thing? Is it unhygienic to use a continental quilt? Yes, the continentals are filthy. We know that, and I can say that. It's not racist. I'm not being racialistical. It's true. But why don't hospitals and hotels use continental quilts? Can someone answer that? 0870 90 90 973. So in the Bexley Heath, why don't hospitals and hotels use the continental quilt?
Because it's easier to launder the sheets and blankets, Ian. Obviously, you should have known that.
Well, why is it easier to launder the sheets and blankets?
Well, it costs you about £8 to get a duvet dry clean, so it costs you about £2 to get a sheet and a blanket washed.
But you only have to dry clean the duvet, once every 6 months?
Yeah, but you think about how many turnover of people you have in a hospital bed. I don't think I'd like to go under a duvet in that situation.
Well, shame on you, Joe. What can I do for you, fella?
I had a rude awakening when I was 16 concerning blankets. I was in the army.
Yeah.
And we all had our duvets. And after the first 3 months, we had our duvets, was getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, nice gentle run.
Lovely.
And then one morning, the door come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, the beds were turned upside down, and we was told in no uncertain terms to get rid of our duvets.
Yeah.
And we went on to sheets and blankets and bed blocks.
And what?
bed blocks, you may have seen them in some prison films. Basically, it's like a sandwich made out of sheet blanket, and a blanket wrapped round it and squared off.
Oh,
what
right,
they do is they used to come in,
Yeah.
and if your bed wasn't totally tight and sprung that they could flick a coin off of it, your bed block would go out the window, along with most of your kit as well.
Hmm. And
Not a very nice time.
Did you have? Because you remind me now. When I was a kid, my dad was in the army before I was born. But we had army blankets, and we still used army blankets in our house. Did you have the itchy, horrible things?
The only thing they can remind me of is a doormat, basically.
Yeah.
The bristle doormat.
Yeah,
and it was absolutely disgusting.
We used to, Joe. Listen, thanks for that. We used to have those in our house when I was a kid. We had army blankets. What the flipping hell was that about? It's the most Asian Chris hasn't got a clue. Look, he's army blankets. That sounds a bit jolly out, doesn't it? Army blankets were made of like Brillo pads. The most uncomfortable, itchy thing. And I was made to sleep in those as a kid. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. Simon's in the Sussex. Hello, Simon.
Hello there. You mentioned to a previous caller you went to, you were brought up in Slough.
Yes.
I went to a boarding school in Slough called Licensed Victualler School.
No, that's been knocked down now, hasn't it?
That's it. So it used to be a Tesco's. I don't know what it is. Is it still a Tesco's now?
No, well, I think it is, because they've built a massive Tesco's now.
Yeah, 11 years I went there, and then in the earlier years, when you were 7 to 11, you had to use sheet and blankets, and they were the army blankets. And then when you moved to the senior school, you were then allowed to have a quilt.
Yeah.
And then you were made to feel like an adult. But then the prefects used to use it by making you get wrapped up in it to beat the living out of it. So,
oh, man.
It then became a weapon.
Yeah. Well, what was so they would wrap you in the quilts, and you couldn't move, and just kick the LBC out of you.
Or they'd drag you round dorm to dorm doing you. It was basically, it was encapsulate you then. It was seen as an adult, but it was also seen as a weapon to use to do you over.
What were those army blankets? What were they made of? Because they were so painful.
They were green. Our ones were green, basically. They were sort of a Hessian-like material.
Yeah.
But also, we had to have, to a previous call about hospitals, we had to do hospital corners. You had to tuck them in, and you had to learn how to do hospital corners.
Yeah.
If you hadn't, they would turn your bed over and then do you again.
Hospital corners, that's when you wrap. It's like wrapping up a present, isn't it? Folding it in and tucking it under.
You would lift the side up, tuck the end in, then fold it over.
Yeah.
And you used to get the matron or whoever it was at the time would come round and slide her hand in between the crack to make sure that it was proper.
Simon, thank you very much for that. That was a sentence that made me chuckle in a childish fashion. I shan't repeat it for fear of being rude, but... Iain, my mum still uses sheets and blankets. I really like the smell of fresh, clean sheets, says Liz Duck in the M25. I don't think we have the time to do sheets and blankets these days, do we? It's a lot of effort. It is... I can't work out what is best. In a when I go and stay at a hotel, it is something quite nice about being... When your mum would come and tuck you in, mums can't tuck in duvets, can they? So that must have died out. Mums can't... I've just realised this. Mums don't... Vicky in the Croydon, you're a mum.
Yeah.
Do you use duvets in your house?
Yes.
You mean you can't tuck the kids in?
No, but you give them a kiss on the head
And yes, give them a kiss, that's all very nice. But you can't. Mum, tuck me in. I can't. We use duvets.
Well, no, they are nice, and you can still be loving and kind to your child putting them to bed.
I'm not saying it makes you a nasty, cruel person.
No, I'm going to have an argument with you now.
Go on. Go on then. Are you sober? Are you sober?
Yes.
Excellent, okay, that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, right, okay.
Go on.
I was going to argue with you about not arguing.
Right.
Right. Well, I don't know why you're picking on all your, listeners and having a go at them. I think, your attitude's quite disgraceful, really.
Yeah. Vicky, you're falling at the first hurdle.
Well, it come interject at any point.
Well, no, I'm just watching you. I'm just watching you run around in circles and fall over like the lush you are.
Have an argument with someone and then sort of force an argument.
No. What? I have asked people to phone in if they want an argument. If the fact that the people that have phoned in for the arguments are idiots.
Yeah.
Everyone that's phoned in for an argument, Vicky, is an idiot.
Like yourself?
No, I haven't. Listen to the sentence. Everyone that's phoned in for an argument is an idiot. Do you get who I'm talking to?
Myself?
Yes, well done, spot on. 10 out of 10 there for finally getting that on the 4th attempt. And also, the arguments have been so poorly constructed.
You asked me to listen to that sentence, so I listened to the sentence.
I shouldn't have...
So who's the idiot, actually? You said to me, don't interrupt me when I'm saying the sentence.
Vicky, I shouldn't have had to ask you to listen. The fact that we're having an argument, I shouldn't have had to ask you to listen to what I'm saying. You should be listening.
And you be rude.
You should be listening to what I'm...
I don't have to listen to you.
And you're not listening because you're interrupting...
I'm not listening to you because I'm having an argument with you. You never listen when you're having an argument.
You're interrupting.
You just shout at people.
You're interrupting and not paying attention, and not only is it rude, it shows bad breeding, and it shows the fact that you're thick.
Bad breeding is my line, and I'm not thick.
That is your last name. Now, Vicky, you are indeed thick, because you're not listening, and arguments are all about listening to people.
No, they're not about listening at all. They're about shouting at the other person.
Your chavvy, nasty, violent arguments are all about shouting.
Go again. Starting on the chaviness. It gets really quite boring.
A real argument is about trying to persuade someone that your point of view is right and theirs is completely wrong. That's why you've got to listen, otherwise you'll never learn, Vicky, and you'll never grow.
Rubbish.
Vicky from Croydon has a sexy voice. I want to take her out for a steak meal, says tell the cab. Do you eat steak?
No.
No, okay. Sorry, tell the cabby you can't go out for a steak meal.
Like chicken, though.
Well, he's not offered to take you out for a chicken meal.
Tell him I'll go out with him if he buys me chicken.
Oh, Vicky, you're so cheap.
Oh,
you cop off with a cabbie for a bag of Kentucky Fried Chicken? Seriously, shame on you, Vicky. Have some respect.
We haven't ended this argument yet.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we have. I'm trying to save your embarrassment by gently steering you away from it.
You're just talking rubbish.
No, Vicky, I'm trying to save your embarrassment by gently steering away. This is the worst one we've had so far! This is the worst argument we have had so far. Even the flipping idiot who phoned up at what was her name? Kissy Lips. Even her argument was better, and she ended up hanging up on me.
Can I just say something as well, by the way?
Yeah.
This is really good to throw in for any argument.
Go on.
Kai Paul sent his love.
What?
Yeah,
Kai Paul was...
That caused
hey, listen. Me and Clive Bull are best of friends now.
I know, he sent his love.
I was round his house.
He asked me to send you on...
Well, tell him I hope him and his family are well.
Okay, I will.
I spent a lovely weekend at Clive Bull's mansion at the weekend, and we literally buried a hatchet.
I know what he said.
Tell the cabbie has texted back in. Chicken is definitely on the menu.
Okay.
Okay, well, this is... I can't... This has all gone a bit sleazy, as it always does. Vicky, send my best to Clive Bull. Hey, it's true, we're best of friends now. Absolute best of friends. It turned out he thought I'd said something, and I thought he'd said something, and it was all a load of nonsense. So we've kissed, we've made up, we've literally buried a hatchet in his mansion's back garden. I don't know why, we thought it was a bit crazy at the time. And we're good friends. And Clive, of course, is on at 8 o'clock this evening, 8 till 12. It's a cracking show. I'm going out for Chinese tonight, so I'm going to miss a lot of it. But, Chinese food. 0870 9090 973. More of your duvets and arguments. It's 5:44.
The Time with Heathrow Express. The fastest way to Heathrow Airport. Timing is everything.
We are gathered here to celebrate the life of Jim, a man for whom no one ever had a bad.
Welcome to heaven, Jim.
Thank you.
Here you will reap the reward of a virtuous life, bathe in rivers of liquid stardust, soar through the skies with mighty feathered wings, and dance in crystal ballrooms. What say you, Jim?
I'd rather be at home.
Digital TV, broadband, phone and video on demand. Home Choice, your digital home network. Visit homechoice.co.uk for more details. Subject to local availability, BT phone line and a 12-month contract.
At Vodafone, we believe work works better when it's easy to contact your colleagues. So with our share time price plan, there's no charge for calling your company's mobiles or landlines within the UK. For details, call 08080 741 741. Vodafone. Make the most of now for your business.
Subject to status and minimum contract. Conditions apply.
Time now to get the latest LBC 97.3 news headlines with Sandy War.
A man who reported his girlfriend missing on Valentine's Day has been jailed for life for her murder. Human rights protesters will stage a die-in outside Buckingham Palace later, where the Chinese president is guest of honour. And a media watchdog is warning UK households will have to pay up to £300 to get digital television if they haven't converted their sets by the switchover date of 2012. Heavy rain at first tonight, will dry after midnight though. Lows at 8 Celsius. Tomorrow, much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud, and a high of 12.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
Here are your trouble spots on the roads. The M3 shut out of town from the M25 to Junction 3 after an accident. Probably won't reopen before 7:30 tonight. Because of that, the M4 slow out towards Reading from the M25 to Junction 7 Slough. A30 London Road also taking the brunt. That's solid heading away from London from the Crooked Billet towards the M25. North Circuit Road blocked eastbound with a jackknife lorry along Bows Road, just near the lights at New Southgate. The lorry was trying to turn, and has managed to get itself stuck. Busy one as well on the A40 out of town. One lane to squeeze by an accident at the Target roundabout. It's queuing back towards, where's it queuing back to? Yeah, still Hanger Lane, I'm afraid. And Darren on the A1M crawling out of town from junction 2 to 4, Welham Green to Welling Garden City. You've got roadworks exiting at junction 4 and looking at delays as well on Jamaica Road. It's solid out of town towards the Rotherhithe Tunnel. LBC 97.3 travel, your next update in 15 minutes with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
Get up with Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
What happened to you, Steve?
I had a welly break my nose.
You had a Wellington boot break your nose. Tell me how.
I was a cub quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they had welly frame competitions, and I was standing behind someone, and they let go of it behind them. I got the welly straight in my face.
Now, oh, that's gotta hurt.
You won't believe your ears. Nick Ferrari starts at 7 weekday mornings on London's LBC 97.3.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
Sun-damaged skin, freckles, and aging spots. If you have them, you're stuck with them. Well, you were stuck with them.
IPL Photo Rejuvenation is a non-surgical treatment which could change the way you look in under an hour.
It's the Light Fantastic, and it's available right now with 25% off at Depilex Beauty Clinic on Wigmore Street.
Call 020-7486-0852 for your free private consultation.
Unveil the real you at Depilex.
If you've never invested in property, if you'd like to be a successful property investor but don't know where to start, if building a portfolio seems a bit confusing, then take the first step with Inside Track. Since joining Inside Track, I've purchased 2 properties abroad and 1 in the UK.
My aim is to own 20 properties within 5 years, and I know this is possible with the help of Inside Track.
Take the first step by attending Inside Track's free introductory workshop. If you want to profit from property, don't go round the houses. Take the Inside Track. Call 0870 12 44 610 or log on to insidetrack.co.uk.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast with the multi-talented Samsung D600. The mobile phone you can't manage without.
Your voice is fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought 6'3",
Yeah.
Latin lover look,
Yeah.
but you're cuddly and I've warmed to you.
I want to fight you.
You want to fight me?
Yes, I want to fight.
No.
Why?
I did martial arts for 12
Whoops.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast, weekday mornings from 7. London's LBC 97.3 with the Samsung D600. The mobile phone featuring a 2-megapixel camera, Bluetooth, MP3, wireless printing and TV output. The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Hey, Ros and the Billericay, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am fine and dandy. What can I do for you?
Jolly good. I just wanted to say that I can remember very well the duvet coming out in about 1970.
The 70 seems to be the year we're getting as most consistent.
Because the thing was, I wanted a duvet to put on the wedding list when I got married to my now ex-husband. And he said, oh, no, I want a quilt and blankets and all that, you know, and sheets. So we went on honeymoon and went into a bed and breakfast with a nice quilt. And he said, oh, this is nice. I could have hit him.
Oh, no wonder you finished with him. He sounds like a loser.
Absolutely.
So you were ahead of your time then. You were a bed visionary, Ros.
Absolutely.
And they were called continental quilts then, weren't they?
They were, and I think, isn't duvet French? I'm not sure, but it could be French. So maybe
hey, listen, I don't know. We can throw this out. Where the hell does the word duvet come from, for God's sakes? Ros, do you have any trouble putting the covers on duvets?
No, I do the bit where you push it right up into one corner, then you push it right up into the other corner, and you take it all about. Then.
But bless you. Don't you do the inside-out thing?
No, I don't think I can do that quite nicely without turning it inside out.
Oh, okay, because I find the inside-out thing works an absolute treat. And, Ros, do you have an elasticated sheet? I can't believe I'm asking this.
Yes, I do, because...
Oh, you cheat!
I've got an adjustable bed, and if you don't have an elasticated sheet, and it vibrates as well, we won't go into that.
Well, no, we will go into that. You've got a vibrating bed?
Yes.
What, for sexual pleasures?
No, it's just a lovely massage.
No, it is a...
But it gives you concussion because you vibrate your head as well.
So, yeah, it makes you feel a bit nauseous. It does your back the word of good, but you're puking up.
That's right.
Well, I've never heard of such a thing. I've heard of the beds in, like, American motels where you put some money in and it...
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful.
Oh, you're a mucky pup, aren't you? I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Carry on.
Have you had sex while the bed's been vibrating?
No.
No, okay.
Disgusting. I should have done that.
Of course you should have done it. It's the first thing you do. You've got a bed that plugs in and vibrates. You go, let's have a go on this. And you end up in a horrible mess. 0870 9090 973. Heather Jingles, I believe you are saying duvet is French, is it?
Apparently so, I think it is.
Oh, no, hang on, you say apparently so. Who told you this? We thought you knew.
Well, I think I know.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. If you know... Well, apparently, I heard once in a pub, someone was saying... terrible. Paul's in the Kingston. Hello, Paul.
Hello?
Paul.
Hello.
Turn your radio off, Paul. If you fell up for an argument, I'm going to win this one easily.
Oh, you think so?
Oh,
right,
well,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
you're a fool.
First of all, I want to tell you that your show is rubbish.
Okay, that's not a very good argument, but away you go.
Okay. Damn it, I think you're winning. You just won the argument, Ian.
Yeah, I have, totally. Paul, is that seriously the best you can do?
Well, Ian, you said you had to take the opposite view, and I'm arguing that you've just won.
Oh, you're being a little bit existential and a little bit arty-farty and clever.
Ah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. So what... I am genuinely confused. What's the point of this argument?
Well, if I argue that you've just won the argument, therefore, you've lost.
But I haven't lost.
Well, you have to admit that you do, because you said you were going to take the opposite view.
But I haven't lost the argument.
Okay. Well, you've just broken your little golden rule, I'm afraid.
Well, what little golden rule is that?
That you'll take the opposite viewpoint.
But I haven't lost the argument.
Fair enough.
Paul, are you listening to what I'm saying? What did you say to me?
I said your show's rubbish.
No.
I just made a point.
No, the next thing, ignore the next thing, your argument was...
Defeat, and then conceded defeat.
Your argument was, Paul, your argument was that you've lost the argument. I'm saying I haven't lost the argument.
I said that you've won the argument, Ian.
Yeah, okay, I haven't won the argument.
Okay, whatever.
Well, Paul, you're not listening. You're saying something, I'm arguing with you on it, and you don't even realise it's an argument. Cut him off, because A, he's a loser, B, he's an idiot, trying to be, a little bit clever because I speak like that. He doesn't even listen, Paul, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing, and I know you were taping that to play to your mates. I'd just tape over it, because it was awful. That's brought me down a bit now, because we were genuinely... The arguments were kind of getting a little bit better, and then it goes into a nonsense thing like that. He wasn't even listening. Paul, you're a loser. 0870 9090 973, but I love everyone, by the way. But in case you're tuning in and thinking, Ian's in a bad mood, Ian's getting a bit mardy, it's only because I had an argument today, and I've discovered arguments are one of the best things you can do. They're so cathartic, they feel so good. So we're having arguments. You want to phone up with a point, I will argue the opposite viewpoint. Paul is in Surbiton. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Paul.
What makes you think you've got the right to appear on a radio station with the stature of LBC, with its 99% brilliant presenters, and then there's you?
Well, I tell you what, Paul, I can do better maths than you. 99.9%, I'm 0.1%. Well, that's nonsense. That was, what is it, 15 presenters here or something? I make up about 8%, so not 0.1%. So obviously you're talking nonsense, but carry on, Paul, I'll listen. Well, no, you weren't. You were saying that you were talking percentages of the presenters, so you weren't. But carry on.
You're humourless, you're rambling, you're unfocused, you're and the topics you're introducing.
Yeah.
Come on, Ian.
Yeah.
The sound of scraping on the bottom of barrels.
It's got you to phone up, hasn't it, Paul?
Sorry?
It's got you to phone up, hasn't it, Paul? How often do you phone up? How often do you phone up LBC?
Out of loyalty to LBC.
Well, we don't want your loyalty. Go and listen to 94.9.
I listen out of loyalty.
Paul, you're not listening to me. We don't want your loyalty.
Ian?
Paul, hang on. This is good fun, isn't it? Can you stay there? We've got to take a quick break. I want to carry on this argument. Stay there, Paul. More with Paul after this.
Oxygen. Fantastic waterside apartments in Royal Victoria Docks. Moments from Olympic City and Canary Wharf. Due for completion in 2008. Be first to buy with prices from £235,000. Call 020-7055-8000. Premier launch Saturday and Sunday the 12th and 13th of November. Call 020-7055-8000 or log on to oxygen.co.uk.
The streets of New York, dirtier than ever. Hookers, hoods, pimps, cons, ex-cons, slime balls, sleazeballs, rat finks, rent boys, scuzzbags, creeps. You sickos, weirdos, psychos, winos, bums, badasses, punks, killers, crackheads, crackpots, pushers, sadists, masochists, users, losers, dupers, dirtbags. And who's gonna clean up this mess? A bald guy who sucks lollipops.
Ving Rhames is Kojak. UK series premiere tonight at 10 on ITV4.
The 3-hour, 4 till 7, Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Hello, you. Welcome back. Before the break, we were listening to a man slowly drowning in his own stupidity. Paul in the Surbiton, you still there?
Hello, Ian.
It's good fun arguing, isn't it?
Is it?
How often... do you argue quite a lot, or are you normally quite a calm person?
No, I'm actually normally quite a calm person.
Well, that makes it even better. When you get that anger, and everything you're ever angry about comes out in that one argument, it's good, isn't it?
It is good.
Anyway, Paul, carry on. Sorry, carry on. What was your silly point again that made no sense?
Well, Ian, what makes you think you are worthy of presenting a show on a radio station with a statue of LBC?
Because I have got, for the weekend show, which I don't do anymore and Caroline Faraday does, we have got the highest listening figures...
Oh, you've got a name right at last.
We have got the highest listening figures for that slot that this station has ever had at 10 o'clock on a Saturday evening. I got the highest listening figures this station has ever got for a 10 o'clock on a Saturday evening slot, Paul. That's what gives me the right.
It's out of pure sympathy, because...
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Otherwise you'd be standing on the street corner...
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a business. It's a commercial business. It's not here for you. It's here to make money. And the very fact that on Saturday nights, 10 o'clock, which was before I took over, was a dead slot. Used to get 4,000 listeners. Fact. When I ended, it was getting nearly 50,000 listeners per half hour. I did that. That means that business and money is being generated, advertising is being generated. I was making a dead slot a success, Paul, and I know that Caroline Faraday will carry on doing the same thing.
Ian, it's out of pure sympathy, because they...
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's sympathy, if it's because they hate me, if it's because they love me, if it's because they want to punch me, as long as they're listening. And you're listening.
People don't hate you, they just feel sorry for you.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. As long as they're listening, I don't care.
Ian, if I was mute, I could put together a better show.
Oh, Paul. Now that's sad. Why have you done that? Why have you started mocking disabled and afflicted people? Why have you even done that, Paul? You've instantly lost your argument by being offensive to disabled people.
I wasn't being offensive to...
Yeah, you were. You were mocking people. Paul, I'm going to cut you off because you really have... You've crossed the line there. It's good fun, this, isn't it? I'm loving it, Paul. Hats off to you, mate. Well done. Good try till the end. Pat's in the Stansted. Hello, Pat.
Oh, hello there. This is just... I've just looked up in my 1910 Webster's Dictionary.
Oh, go on.
I know, the word duvet, because I thought it was quite a modern word.
I thought so.
And it's a French word, and it means a down quilt.
A down quilt. Well, first of all, may I apologise to Heather Jingles for telling him to get lost. I apologise. Don't want him to come back, but I shouldn't have said to get lost. No, did it say when it was invented, Pat?
No, it doesn't. It just says... But that was 1910.
Yeah.
The dictionary is 1910.
I always thought they were kind of like a 60s invention,
well,
a little bit groovy.
Well, no, I knew they were before that because we went on a skiing holiday in the 50s, and we were amazed in Austria that they'd got these wonderful down quilts.
Yeah.
So they were around.
Pat, do you use duvets now, or are you still a sheet and blanket lady?
No, we're a sheet and duvet.
A sheet and duvet.
Yeah.
And do you use the elasticated sheets? Do you cheat?
No.
No, of course not. You tuck them in properly.
No.
Can you believe my producer, bless him, he's a lovely Welsh gentleman, has never had to tuck in a sheet?
Well, no, because he's obviously got somebody else to do it for him.
He still lives with his mum. Pat, listen, thank you very much for that. 1910, there you go. We're still taking your arguments, still talking about sheets, duvets, blankets, and also, in the last hour, I've got to ask you, do you wear a name tag to work? Is there anything more humiliating than wearing a badge that says, "Hi, my name's Iain, I'm happy to help"? 0870 9090 973. More of your calls after the latest news.
Available on DAB Digital Radio.
London's LBC 97.3.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Sandy War. Hundreds of protesters are taking to the streets tonight to demonstrate against China's poor human rights record and long-standing occupation of Tibet. The Chinese President Hu Jintao has arrived in the UK on a 3-day state visit. Extra police officers have been drafted in to stand guard in front of Buckingham Palace, where he's dining tonight with the Queen. A man who killed his girlfriend and then reported her missing on Valentine's Day has been jailed for life. Paul Dyson admitted strangling 22-year-old Joanne Nelson at their home in Hull After an argument about housework, he made an emotional television appeal for her to come home. Joanne's friend, Lee Creamer, says the family will never recover from their loss.
We don't have lives anymore, but we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We feel sorry for Joanne and the life that she will miss out on. We, her parents, her sisters, and all those who loved her have been cheated. Justice can never be done because Joanne can't come home.
The French government's bringing in 50-year-old laws to crack down on the country's riots. Local authorities have been given powers to keep people off the streets between 10 at night and 6 in the morning. The violence began in Paris suburbs but has spread across the country over the past 12 nights. Sky's Michelle Clifford says the law comes into force at midnight tonight.
It doesn't mean that what we're going to see tomorrow is some sort of mass lockdown in France. It will be at the discretion of local officials to decide if they need to enforce controls at certain times and for how long.
A defence lawyer in Saddam Hussein's trial has been killed in a drive-by shooting. It's the second assassination of a lawyer representing one of the former Iraqi dictator's 7 co-defendants. Saddam's main lawyers blamed the government for the attack and wants the trial, which is into a 1988 massacre at a Shia village, to be moved to a neutral country. A mother of 2 teenage daughters is asking the High Court to prevent parents being undermined by guidelines allowing girls under 16 to have abortions. Sue Axon from Manchester says there's a culture of secrecy. Current guidelines say doctors should respect the confidentiality of under 16s, but these young mums think teenage girls need their parents' support.
I don't think you're emotionally old enough to go through something like that. It is quite a big procedure.
I think the parents have to get involved because it's not the sort of decision that you can just make one day and then just get on with the rest of your life.
Work to make nearly all of our busiest motorways 4 lanes in each direction is likely to start in 2008. The possible date for M25 widening was given by the Highways Agency. It's inviting bids for the contract, which is worth about £1.5 billion. The busiest western section of the M25 is currently being extended to 5 and 6 lanes in places. Let's take a look at London's weather for tonight. Heavy rain at first. It will dry up slowly, though, after midnight, giving us a low of 8 Celsius. Tomorrow, much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud, and a high of 12 Celsius. LBC weather with Well-Woman Advanced Nutrition Capsules from Vitabiotics, available from chemists and health stores, or visit wellwoman.com. It's 3 minutes past 6.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
Thanks, Ian. Right, the M3 closed out of town still from the M25 to Junction 3. That's the M25 out towards Lightwater. Unlikely to reopen before 7:30 this evening. The surrounding routes looking horrendously busy, so we're looking at the A30 through Staines and also the A3 as well, just off Junction 10 of the M25. Northbound traffic towards the M25 and the M3 crawling from Junction 4 as well. We'll keep a close watch on that for you. Thank you, Dave, for your call. Reporting a breakdown in the Rotherhithe Tunnel going northbound. Traffic abysmal behind that. Alan in the Kingston one-way system, solid. Probably the extra traffic heading to the A3, we reckon. Peter on the Marylebone Road, broken down post office van just past Madame Tussauds. Clear queues back towards the King's Cross area. And coastbound on the A2, Simon says it's looking solid with an accident after the Northfleet turn, possibly looking at a closure here. 08000 68 60 80 is the number to call with your updates, and while you do that, we'll update you with public transport. District and Victoria lines have delays. Southwest and Southern reporting delays at Clapham following a broken down train in the area. LBC 97.3 travel, your next update in 15 minutes with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you. And now for Flight Watch. No delays reported out of Heathrow. If you're flying to Newcastle out of Gatwick on the BA 20 past 8 flight, looking at a delay out of the North Terminal. Stansted and Luton, no reported delays. London City looks to be fine as well, but if you are travelling to City Airport by car, bear in mind the Limehouse Link Tunnel means it's going to be a tricky journey by road out of central London. Best to use public transport then, eh? You can use the Jubilee or DLR to Canning Town and then hop on the shuttle bus to the airport. So good luck with that. Next travel update though at 6:15.
London's LBC 97.3. Flight Watch with MaxJet.com. The affordable all business class service from Stansted to New York JFK. London's LBC 97.3.
Some business people think that the more complicated they make things, the smarter they'll look. But complicated isn't smart. It just costs more. At MaxJet, they understand this. For them, having a complicated jumble of fares is not good business. That's why they only fly business class to New York. For reservations, visit MaxJet.com. MaxJet. It's just good business.
Fly MaxJet, Stansted to JFK. Fares from only £854 return, inclusive.
Staying with a mortgage even though the good deal has expired because it just seems too costly and too much hassle to move it? Here's a fresh idea. Paying a new lender absolutely nothing to move your mortgage. Moving it easily. Moving to a mortgage that doesn't charge a booking fee. Moving to a bank that will pay your standard legal fees and give you a free valuation. Moving to Abbey. Fee-free remortgaging from Abbey. Call 0800 80 80 80. Visit abbey.com or your local branch for details. Abbey. More ideas for your money.
Available on selected products. Early repayment charges apply for 2 years from completion. Free valuation up to £1,100. Calls monitored.
London's LBC 97.3. The 3-hour, 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Call 0870 9090 973.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for the one and only Mr. Iain Lee, your presenter.
Beds, 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 beds. They make chairs look like tack. Beds. Proud sponsors of the Iain Lee Show. Beds.
Bless the beds. I can't believe this email. Well, you know, yesterday, we had some idiot phone in. Well, it was Simon. Simon L. Stapleton, as he signed his email. And he phoned in and said, Iain, you don't never... Hang on, here we go. Ninja, behind you, quickly. Elbow in the face. Iain, you don't never read out none of my texts. Why do you not read out none of my texts? Well, that was what his argument. And so, to prove a point, I read out every single text, give or take 15 or 20. We had 710 texts yesterday, so me missing 20 texts, that's not bad going. We read out every single text. He's emailed in. He's still not happy. Dear Iain, this is Simon from the Burgess Hill. I love your programme, but yesterday I posed the argument that you never read out my texts, and you had a great go at reading them all out. Well done. Unfortunately, you still did not. As you promised, because you are a man of your word, you actually failed because you never read my texts. How does it feel to be a failure? Well, Simon, your text never appeared on the screen. I'm guessing you've been blacklisted. So I've turned the heating up for some reason. It's all got a little bit... Quite know I did that. I'm guessing, Simon, you've been blacklisted for sending either offensive or boring texts. Look, we're still getting the complaints. I thought we're 6 weeks into this gig. Then you get an idiot. It's going quite well today. I think today's show is in the top 5 of the shows we've done. Then you get this idiot, James Donovan. The thing about the people who've complained, who've emailed in and complained about me doing this slot, me actually being on the stage. Some people are so offended that I'm doing this slot, or even on the station, that the abuse they've sent, no one has sent in a decent, coherent, well-constructed complaint. They're all abusive, obnoxious, or really badly written. This is from James. Literally just come in. I've sent him one back basically saying, get stuffed, we're not interested. That's how much you're at. Come on, LBC. You can do better than LBC. What? Iain is trying to be Richard Bacon. At least you have music between his rambling. What does that mean? LBC was topical in the afternoon with a bit of fun. Now it's stupid. The only thing worth listening to is the traffic reports. More of the likes of Steve Allen, Nick, etc. From James. Oh, James has just written back. And this is my reply. But you're still listening. Go away, little boy. We're not interested. And his reply is... This is fun. I surely shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, his reply is... So it was Daisy Donovan that was the better half of you two. I will just listen to Steve and Nick in the morning. I think you should grow up. Are LBC dropping you? They should. James, I can't say too much, but... Au contraire, my friend. Au contraire indeed are they dropping us. That's French, by the way. Why are people texting in Brentford? What is this about? Is this... I suspect foul play and sabotage. Is someone trying to sabotage my show? We're getting all these first-time texters, they're all first-time texters, texting in the word Brentford. I demand someone calls up and explains this, please. We've had about 50. And I don't mind, because it gets me up the text league. But I demand that one of you call in Johnny in the Croydon. Are you there, Johnny?
I am.
Do you know why people are texting in the word Brentford?
Well, they're clearly mad. My brother lives in Brentford. It might be him, but I doubt it.
No, well, he's using a different phone David Hempstead has texted in calling me a racist! What? It's all gone crazy, Johnny. Anyway, what can I do for you, sir? You sound nice.
Duvets?
Yes.
Fantastic thing. Wouldn't do without one.
Yeah.
I seem to have read somewhere, or I seem to remember reading somewhere, that Terence Conran of the Habitat fame was the man responsible for bringing them to this great country of ours.
Really? I suppose there must have been one person who was an innovator that decided to do it.
It was when he opened Habitat, and I think they're originally from Sweden. duvet.
This
and
makes sense.
Obviously, he gave us the chicken brick and things like that, and the duvet came at about the same time.
I remember when I was a kid, when I was about 5 or 6, so about 77, 78, something like that, 79. Habitat was the coolest.
Oh, it was on, wasn't it?
Oh man, it was the cool. And we lived in a council estate, so we couldn't quite afford a lot of the Habitat stuff, but we'd still go there every Sunday and have a wander around Habitat.
Well, we had a Habitat. My parents bought a Habitat 3-piece suite, and it was the most uncomfortable thing on earth.
Oh yeah, it was style, it was looks over comfort, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was their philosophy.
Very much so.
I guess a lot of that stuff that your parents would have bought then would be worth a fortune now, because all that whole kind of 70s, slightly kitsch retro thing is back in.
Yeah. Well, me and my brother smashed it all up. And they gave us permission to do so. We smashed it all up. Another thing about duvets, me and my brother found. I mean, you can do this with sheets, I guess.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be quite as much fun. We used to get in the duvet, and we were young then.
Yeah.
And play a game called Ghosties.
Ghosties. Well, let me guess. You were ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Strangely enough.
Yeah, I've done the same thing.
That's it, duvet over. And the good thing about the duvet is. It's because it's slightly cushioned.
Yeah.
You can hack around the room, and it doesn't really matter if you bump into things.
Cracking. Johnny, it's a cracking game. I'm going to be playing Ghosties this evening, and I know you are, London, as well. I tell you what I've never done. Never had sex inside a duvet. Actually, get inside the duvet cover with your partner, so it's kind of a little bit claustrophobic, a little bit dark, a little bit sweaty. I know someone who probably has, though. Tallulah in the Electric Parade.
Hello, you.
Hello, you. Have you made love inside a duvet?
No, but I played Ghost.
Of course you have. How you doing, Tallulah? You all right?
Well, I am very wonderful, thank you very much. But I want to say, you can be tucked in a duvet.
You can be what?
Tucked up.
She said tucked. She said tucked with a T, thank God. Wow. You can't be tucked up in a duvet,
Oh, yes,
you
I
silly
grew up
fool.
in Germany. I don't know anything else but duvets.
What country did the duvet come from? It wasn't Germany, was it?
Well, I don't know, but I never had anything but duvets.
So you never had sheets and blankets as a youngster?
No.
You've missed out
When
on
I came over to England,
Yeah.
I introduced my boyfriend with my duvet that I bring over, and I changed his habit from sheet, and I never understood what the heck was this.
Duvet, it's easier. I'm sorry, I'm going on a slightly seedy track here. If you've got youngsters listening, well, then good for them. It is easier to make love underneath a duvet than under sheets and blankets that are tucked in, isn't it?
Sheets and blanket.
What? What have you...
It's too much hassle.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Oh, yeah, and you can nicely be tucked up. I was tucked up every evening, especially in winter. one side under the left shoulder, one under the right shoulder, and one tuck underneath the feet.
So childish. No, I'm being childish, not you, Tallulah. You're being excellent.
I'm accurate.
You are accurate and indeed excellent. What? Bless you, Tallulah. Thanks for calling. 08709090973 is the telephone number. Arguments and the best topic ever, duvets and no one's called in to say they still use the sheet and the blanket. You can't tuck your kids in. It's shameful. It's nearly 6:14.
The Time with Heathrow Express, the fastest way to Heathrow Airport. Timing is everything.
In 1980, Audi launched Quattro Permanent all-wheel drive. It entered the rally world, winning one world championship after another. Then Quattro hit the racetrack. It was so successful, it was banned. Join us in celebrating its 25th anniversary on the 12th and 13th of November, when you can take a test drive and experience the unfair advantage of Quattro for yourself. You'll also be entered into our fantastic prize draw to win an Audi Driving Experience Day at Silverstone. For details, visit your local Audi centre, go to audi.co.uk/25 years, or call 0845 123 775. Audi, Vorsprung durch Technik.
Oxygen. Fantastic waterside apartments in Royal Victoria Docks. Moments from Olympic City and Canary Wharf. Due for completion in 2008. Be first to buy with prices from £235,000. Call 020-7055-8000. Premier launch Saturday and Sunday the 12th and 13th of November. Call 020-7055-8000 or log on to oxygen.co.uk.
So I've read a very funny text that's highly inappropriate. Time now for the latest LBC 97.3 news headlines with Sandy Wall.
Thanks, Ian. A man has been jailed for life for strangling his girlfriend and then making an emotional appeal on television claiming she'd gone missing. A mother's at the High Court challenging what she calls crazy confidentiality guidelines, which allow young girls to have abortions without their parents being told. And there's a massive police presence around Buckingham Palace this evening. The Chinese president is guest of honour. We'll have a full report on that state visit on the nightly news tonight. Heavy rain at first tonight, will dry up after midnight, quite chilly, 8 Celsius. Tomorrow much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12 Celsius.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
Yeah, the worst bits, the M3 shut out of town junction 2 to 3, the M25 down towards Lightwater after an accident, probably won't open for another hour, not before 7:30 anyway. Also getting reports of an accident on the M25 anti-clockwise in Hertfordshire after junction 17 at Rickmansworth, slowing you down as you come round from junction 19. The Kingston one-way system's solid with extra traffic heading for the A3 because of the M3 closure. We've got a broken down van on the westbound side of Marylebone Road, just past Madame Tussauds. Queues back towards King's Cross. Thank you, Peter, for that. And the A22 shut southbound towards the M25. It shut the Wasps Lodge roundabout with an accident involving several vehicles and possibly a motorcycle too. Thank you, Stefano, for your call on that. And public transport, you have a less frequent service running on the following lines: District and Victoria. The next update 15 minutes away. LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
Now, I fear I might have lost you as a listener. I've upset you, have I?
I do think you've gotten it wrong this morning. You have to try and portray an objective point of view.
If you just want balanced reporting, please don't listen to me. I urge you not to listen to me. What I will do is I'll give you my views.
Nick Ferrari, weekday mornings from 7. London's LBC 97.3.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast.
Do something memorable. Test drive the new iGo by Toyota. Drive away from just 6745 or deposit of £149. See igo.co.uk.
We are gathered here to celebrate the life of Jim, a man for whom no one ever had a band.
Welcome to heaven, Jim.
Thank you.
Here you'll reap the reward of a virtuous life, bathe in rivers of liquid stardust, soar through the skies with mighty feathered wings, and dance in crystal ballrooms. What say you, Jim?
I'd rather be at home. Digital TV, broadband, phone and video on demand. Home Choice, your digital home network. Visit homechoice.co.uk for more details. Subject to local availability, BT phone line and a 12-month contract.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
What? Oh, hey! Hello there, for goodness sakes. Thank you, Lawrence. Lovely email there. 0870 90 90 973 says as he picks up the pen he's just thrown on the floor. Duvets. Arguments. Just, by the way, some people we're getting some very stroppy texts and emails. Don't worry about the arguments. We're all still friends, okay? There have been one or two people who got a bit carried away. We're just arguing to prove how exciting, how cathartic, how refreshing it is to have everyone says, oh, you shouldn't argue. Oh, no, you shouldn't argue. You should sit down and discuss it. And sort of things like that. But no, it's good to have a bit of a row. And still try and change someone's opinion and put forward an opinion, but do it passionately and do it powerfully. And then be friends at the end. That's what we're doing this evening. So if you want an argument, give us a call. I will take the exact opposite viewpoint to the one that you hold. And I will beat you in an argument. I've beaten everyone so far. I was hoping we'd get at least one arguer who could, maybe get a draw. But nowhere near. Nowhere near. 0870 90 90 973. Steve the cabbie. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
What can I do for you, sir?
Brentford.
Oh, what? I've had about 50 texts that just say Brentford.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
James O'Brien.
Oh, that loser. What does he want?
He's holding a text vote survey all through this week.
Yeah.
To see which football team Londoners support.
But why is he holding it through my show?
No, he's not. He's holding it through his own show all this week.
But what then? Why? Why is it that why am I getting texts that say Brentford in this show? I've had about 50.
I'm guessing that he suggested today that if everybody who supported Brentford texted in the word Brentford, they would begin to appear on the league somewhere.
Oh,
So
maybe someone's... I'm guessing that maybe someone's put this up on a website somewhere or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Everybody who supports Brentford is going to text the word Brentford to the station.
Oh, crikey. Well, it pushes up the text league. I'm not bothered at all. Steve, who do you support?
West Ham.
Now, I don't see. Now, I've got myself into a cul-de-sac here. I know nothing about football. Are they good?
Well, they're excellent, yeah, of course.
Steve, we'll end it there. I'm so not a bloke. I can't do the football arguments. I knew there was a question you had to ask, and the question is, what team do you support? That's the standard question. And then what do you say? I don't know where it goes. I don't know where that conversation goes from there. And there is a route that conversation follows. Or you either say, I guess it's something like, oh, not doing well at the moment, are they? Or... what do you think? They're doing better than... last year was a good year, wasn't it? Or they're doing better than... I don't know. I know nothing about it. If anyone knows, if anyone could tell me where that conversation should have gone then with Steve the Cabbie, 0870 90 90 973. Tiny Gooner is not texting in the shower as usual. Yes, she normally texts in from the shower. It's very strange people that do this. Lynn from Colney Heath. I've got an electric duvet, 4.5 tog. It goes up to 17 tog when switched on. Electric duvet? And that whole tog thing I never quite understand. Jerry's in the Tower Bridge. Hello, Jerry. Jerry?
Yeah, I'm in Barnet.
Okay, good. Hey, Jerry, what tog are you, Jerry?
About 9.5, I think we are at home.
Is that good?
It's very good, yeah.
If someone asked me that, I wouldn't have a clue. But the fact that you've even attempted to answer it means you're a top bloke, Jerry. Thank you very much. What can I do for you, Jerry?
I was just saying, when the quilt came in, I remember them in 69, 70.
Good boy.
My mum got a load on the cigarette coupons when we were kids, and we were still living in Nottingham.
Did you have the thing, when we got our first duvet, about 1978, where every night we woke up the first week, we woke up and the duvet was on the floor, because we just kicked it off in our sleep?
I still do.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a violent man in your sleep, are you, Jerry?
No, I just get too hot.
Yeah. They're strange things. I'm never quite sure. I don't think we could ever... I've still got a blanket box, but I don't have any blankets. What's that all about? 0870 90 90 973. Pat's in the Brentwood. Hello, Pat.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Pat.
Hi, it's a first-time caller.
Bless you. Thank you for calling. How are you feeling?
Okay.
Okay, now, do you want an argument with me?
Oh, no, I'm not very good at arguing.
No, okay, no.
I want to tell you about my dad.
Oh, go on.
I bought him a duvet because he has trouble making the bed. He's got a bad back.
Yeah.
So I put it all on for him, done it all, and I don't live near him, but the next time I went down there, he's using it as a rug on the floor.
Oh, no, he's not.
He's back to his blanket.
Oh, bless him.
He can't stand the duvet.
Why? Now, this is interesting, because we're getting a fresh outlook on this. What doesn't he like specifically about the duvet?
It don't keep on the bed, he says.
Yeah, that's
he likes
the thing.
to tuck his blankets in, and, you know, it's really strange, but on the floor is a rug, you know.
So this was the thing, this is what I was saying, when we got our duvets, for the first couple of weeks, you'd wake up, they'd be on the floor. And I think, I'm sure I remember, and I could be wrong, I'm sure that we watched a programme on the television that told you how you sleep in your duvet, how you keep the duvet on your bed. Because every morning, we'd all come downstairs, my mum, my sister, and everyone, and we'd go, yeah, the duvet fell off again.
And yeah. It's strange. But years ago, that my nan used to have an eiderdown, which was really similar to a duvet.
Oh, is it? So are you saying that maybe the Swiss or the Swedes or whoever it is stole it from us?
It was made of all feathers. That's why it was called eiderdown. And it was very similar to a duvet, but they still put sheets and blankets on the bed, and they had that on the top.
Now, have you ever, Pat, would you ever go back to blankets and sheets?
No, never.
No. It's the biggest hassle in the world, isn't it? What's this? Sorry, email. Lorraine sent this email. Ian, you're actually quite attractive. Must say I've never noticed before. What about this Xbox and ladies and gentlemen evening we're supposed to be having? What? What the hell is going on there? Chavy Vicky has sent in an email with swear words in. The whole show's... I'm being accused of being a racist. The whole show's degenerated into something... I'm feeling angry again. Raheem in the Heathrow.
Heathrow? Who said anything about Heathrow? I'm in Balham, mate.
Make it good.
Make it good. I've been hanging on for half an hour, first of all, trying to get through. Jay, what's the point in telling people to call up if then you don't answer the phone?
You've been on the line for 1 minute. 1 minute and
1 minute this time. I was on the phone for half an hour, mate. Ring, 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 ring.
Do you know why, Raheem?
Listen, I was phoning up to
Do you know why? Do you know why?
About women.
Do you know what, Raheem?
About the phone.
No,
I'm phoning up to have a go about women. And
This
you
is
want to
awful.
talk about something else?
No, listen. I want to address the point. Each point as you raise it. Okay.
Forget the other point.
You've been waiting for a long time to get through because this is a popular show. That's why you've called one of the most popular shows on the radio. Raheem,
You got to come up with better than that, Ian.
Oh, listen. I'm just warming up. I'm still doing my stretches. What have you got for me,
Mate,
fella?
I've
Come
been
on.
listening to your arguments. Listen, first of all, I had a little bit of sympathy with you, mate.
Yeah.
I thought all these muppets phoning up, having an argument. Oh, sorry, Ian. Oh, I'm Ian. Oh, dear. What a load of rubbish. And then I'm thinking to myself, hold on, it takes two hands to clap, mate. And there's one person who's in every argument making all the arguments rubbish, and that's you.
You finished, Raheem?
What else do you want me to say? Oh, my goodness, I haven't even got started yet, mate. I started off really...
Raheem,
I went to the shop...
Carry on. You carry on. You let me know when I can chip in.
It is. I went down to the shop. My missus sent me down to the shop. I've never even heard of half the ingredients she asked for. I spent 25 minutes rummaging around, looking up and down the aisle. Excuse me, mate, have you got this? Excuse me, mate, have you got that? The guy doesn't even know what I'm asking for. When I left the shop, she phoned me up and they gave me 3 more things. She didn't even put on the original list. So my first point was I was phoning up to talk about women. And then I got half an hour waiting on the phone to get through, I don't know, and your text messages. I must have texted you about 10 times in the last 6 months. Not even once, not once have you read them out. What's the point? Hello?
We don't read your texts out, Raheem, because they're atrocious and boring.
Oh, come on. You've got to do better than that, Ian.
Well, I've knocked that point into hat. We don't read out your texts because they're boring. Because they're boring.
Argument. Come on.
Women.
And you know what? You're not the only Ian Lee, because there was one in my class, and his brother was called Stephen.
Right. Okay. Raheem, I'm confused. Which point of your shoddy, weak argument? It's not even an argument. You just ranted a bit. Which of those rants would you like me to address?
I don't know, but it doesn't all feel good, mate.
It's good, isn't it? Isn't it good to get it all off your chest?
I can go home and be nice to my wife.
Oh, it's exactly. I've done you a public service, mate, haven't I? Raheem, listen, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Rubbish argument, but he was a nice fella. What a nice bloke. This is great fun. You know, someone's just tuned on. They're going, what the hell is going? This is shock jock in inverted commas. Horrible lazy phrase that doesn't really mean anything. We're arguing because it's brilliant to argue. Oh man, it's so cathartic. You get an adrenaline rush. You get a bigger adrenaline rush than you get when you go to the gym. It's more adrenaline than when you have sex. It is the biggest rush. And it's fantastic, and you can be in complete control of it. And if you're intelligent enough, which unfortunately none of the arguers we've had on the line so far have been, they've all been quite thick. If you're intelligent enough, you can even persuade someone that their point of view is wrong, and that's an amazing feeling. If you can change their point of view totally, that's an amazing feeling. But that's just a bonus. The best thing is having a good argument. But we've just had a lot of people shouting and ranting, and that's not arguing. Arguing is putting forward a point. Yes, you put it forward, maybe a little bit aggressive if you want to. Putting forward a point, listening to someone else's point and then responding. That's what it is. No one's done that yet. We've had lots of shouting and lots of abuse. In the last half hour, can we get some decent, intelligent arguments? 0870 90 90 973. I'll do some of your texts and emails after we've had a little bit of this.
If you could learn the secrets of stock market millionaires, would you listen very carefully?
Hi, I'm Darren Winters. I've taught over 12,000 people my strategies to generate immediate monthly cash flow and incredible long-term wealth from investing in the stock market. Whether complete beginner or expert, I'd like to show you how I believe you could maximize your returns whether the stock market goes up, down, or sideways. In my free 3-hour seminar, I'll also share with you my 3 essential skills to knowing exactly what to buy, and when to sell, and reveal how I believe you could produce a second income from investing just 1 hour per week. I'll also explain why I feel right now could be one of the best times ever to start investing in the stock market.
These free seminars, Your Way to Stock Market Wealth, are taking place in London and Heathrow this month, at times to suit everyone. Places are limited, so book your free ticket now on 0870 112 1234. That's 0870 112 1234, or go to wininvesting.co.uk.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
Don't forget, today is the last day of our beard growing competition, Agent Chris, and my beard has to go tomorrow. Oh, Nick, you got a 20-second argument for me. Where you go?
Yes, I have. I'd just like to say that I think you're really a nice guy, and that James O'Brien, I'm sure, is not in any sort of relationship with you at all.
Nick, thank you very much. But you're wrong. I'm an absolute nasty prat. Here's the news.
Available on DAB Digital Radio.
London's LBC 97.3. At 6:30, I'm Sandy Waugh. Hundreds of protesters are taking to the streets tonight. They're demonstrating against China's poor human rights record and the long-standing occupation of Tibet. The Chinese President Hu Jintao has arrived in the UK on a 3-day visit. Extra police have been drafted in to stand guard at Buckingham Palace, where tonight he's dining with the Queen. A mother of 2 teenage daughters is challenging guidelines which allow children to have abortions without telling their parents. This challenge at the High Court. Currently, doctors are allowed to respect the confidentiality of people under 16. A British tourist has been shot dead in Uganda. The man had apparently rescued 4 men whose boats had crashed in the Murchison Falls National Park. Ugandan authorities are investigating. Police have been given new powers to seize and destroy cars driven by uninsured drivers. Officers will use cameras linked to a database containing details of all vehicles registered in the UK, which are believed to be without insurance. The French government's bringing in a 50-year-old law to crack down on riots. Curfews could be imposed across the country, banning under 18s from the streets from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. Police tell us they've stopped £22 million worth of Class A drugs getting onto London's streets in the last year. 108 people have been charged and hundreds of kilos of cocaine and heroin seized during the first year of a new operation. The Met say it's targeting the middlemen who link the major drug traffickers to pushers on the streets. England have delayed their verdict on whether Michael Vaughan will be able to feature in the first test against Pakistan. It's been revealed the captain will travel with the rest of the team to Multan ahead of Saturday's match. Vaughan will then undergo yet more tests. Later in London at 8 o'clock, upstairs at the Lion Pub on Stoke Newington Church Street, you can join the weekly chat on 20th century art and culture. There'll be heavy rain around at first tonight, but it will ease after midnight. Temperatures down to 8 Celsius. Tomorrow, much cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud, and a high of 12 Celsius. It's 6:32.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
M3 still shut out of town, will be for the next hour. That's what we're told. Between junctions 2 and 3, the M25 to Lightwater, all the surrounding routes very busy indeed because of this. Even northbound on the M3 into the M25 is stacked up. That western and southern stretch of the M25 near to the M3 junction, crawling on the approach. Drivers are being diverted off at either junction 10 or 13, the A3 and Staines, so those roads getting clogged up too. We've got reports of an accident on the anti-clockwise side in Hertfordshire, just after junction 17 at Rickmansworth. Also anti-clockwise on the southern stretch between junctions 6 and 5, Godstone to Sevenoaks, got a crash there. Broken down car on the Strand, this is going westbound, so heading away from London just after Charing Cross Station towards Parliament Square. We're looking at delays in the Rotherhithe tunnel as well, northbound. Traffic awful because of a breakdown there. Thank you, Dave, for that. Marylebone Road, breakdown westbound just past Madame Tussauds. Queues back towards King's Cross there. And the A22 shuts southbound towards the M25 at the Wasps Lodge roundabout with an accident involving several vehicles, possibly a motorcycle too. And we've got one lane closed on the A40 out of town now at the Target roundabout following an accident earlier on. Solid from the northern roundabout. Thank you, John, for your update. Half-hour delays from the northern roundabout just to Savoy Circus, just to give you an idea of how bad those delays are. Your next update in 15 minutes, LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
Traffic lights, a dangerous place for van drivers. The light goes red and sploosh goes the sponge of the squeegee man. You didn't ask to have your windscreen cleaned, and frankly, you didn't want it. Dirty water smeared across your once clean window. They don't even lift the wipers. They just see you van drivers as a fast ticket to a quick buck like everybody else. At least at Renault we give you something back. For your £99 deposit, business users can get any van from our range with 0% finance over 4 years, plus free ply lining. For more information, go to Renault.co.uk. Renault. We love you guys.
London's LBC 97.3.
0870 90 90 973.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
4 till 7, it's a top slot, that is.
Hello, you. It's been a cracking show, I think. Without blowing my own trumpet too loudly, for I cannot play the trumpet, I've enjoyed it. I don't know if you have. We've been celebrating the magic of arguments. And also talking about duvets. Well, no one has called in. I guess it's a dying thing now. I guess we can say officially it's dead. The sheet and the blanket in people's homes is dead. But in the world of hospitals and rubbish hotels, it lives and breathes. Emelina's in the Bishop Stortford. Hello, Emelina.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Emelina, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I've just remembered what I was saying before the news. I must remember this.
Yeah?
It is the last day of the beard growing competition. My beard will be hacked off my face tomorrow. I've got to get some new razor blades.
You always look good anyway.
Oh, get out of here. What are you talking about? But if anyone is taking part in our competition, they've got to email the pictures in today. And then we'll announce the winner tomorrow. How's your beard coming on, Emelina?
Well, I've got a goatee coming at the minute.
Nice one. Excellent. Well, make sure you send in that email with that picture in. We'll announce the winner later in the week. And we will put the pictures up of mine and Agent Chris's beards, probably tomorrow. I think we'll put it up. Emily, what can I do for you?
Well, I've called to say that not only are you lying about the duvets, I have 6 blankets on my bed.
Oh, hang on a second. Whoa. I'm lying about duvets?
Yes, you are. I have 6 blankets and 2 sheets in the summer and 4 in the winter.
Crikey, what, you're crazy. So you don't have duvets in the house?
I do.
You do have duvets?
Yes, but I don't use them.
But then why do you have them and not use them? That's insanity, woman. That's insane.
It's just as insane as you saying that I'm never going to use them, because I do.
Wait, what? Is that acid kicking? When do you use them then?
I use them all the time.
Oh, the sheets and the blankets. The sheets and the blankets.
2 sheets in the winter.
Right.
6 blankets.
Right.
4 blankkets in the summer with 2 sheets.
I'm going to stop you there. It's never that cold that you need.
It is in Stortford.
That you need. Bishop Stortford is sub-Antarctic, is it? That you need 6 blankets.
No, we're half an hour away from London Liverpool Street.
Well, that's very specific. Now I know exactly how to get there. But so, it's so cold. You need 6 blankets.
Yeah.
And does this mean that you can therefore be tucked into bed properly?
I can, yes.
Have you ever used duvets?
Once, and that was in a hotel.
And what did you think of them?
They itch.
What?
Duvets itch.
Duvets itch?
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
How do they itch?
I'm allergic to polyester.
Yes. You were in a cheap hotel, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. They use those rubbish. It's like virtually polystyrene. It's like foam they have in there. You want a nice, rich eider-down duvet or something like that.
Yeah.
That would. What did they say? It's just feathers from a bird. That won't itch.
It might.
Well, you're correct. It might do if you're a little bit odd, as I believe you. Maybe I don't know. But so you're a big fan. Do you not find it's a hassle having to make the bed though with the sheets and the blankets?
No, I don't, because I'm listening to you all the time.
Nice. So you don't make the bed.
No.
And now this is something we should have brought up earlier on. There is no point in making the bed, is there?
No.
Because you're going to get back in the bed later on and make it messy again.
Why even bother making it when you can have better things to do, like listening to LBC?
Exactly, Emelina. Very quickly, Emily, who's the best... Sorry, I've forgotten. Who's the best presenter on LBC 97.3?
Iain Lee, definitely.
Nice one, there you go. So I'd forgotten. I just needed to be reminded. I did forget. Abby's in the South Kensington. Hello, Robert.
Hello, you. Robert. Yeah, right. I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay, pretend you didn't hear it, but I did say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can I do? Abby, what? You were on Clive's show again, weren't you? Are you trying to overtake Chavy Vicky as being the mental caller of the year?
Yeah, I am, because I was on Nick's show this morning as well.
Oh, really?
Wow. Oh, yeah.
You've done the
First
whole...
time I've called him, ever.
You did what?
First time I've called him as well.
I thought you said it's the first time you've pulled him. I thought, wow, crikey, Nick's... I know Nick gets a bit fruity in the morning, but still. And was he nice to you?
He was alright.
He's a big soft bear, isn't he?
Well...
He's a big
He
bear.
didn't talk to me for very long. I was well gutted.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's selfish. No, because they have so many calls in the morning, and also they get so they've got so many things to cram in there. The thing about Nick Ferrari show, he'll do a new subject every 15 minutes. That's insane.
Listen to him?
Of course I listen to him. We've managed to drag out 2 topics over 3 hours. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, but they're good topics. The reason why you have to do them every 50 minutes is because they're...
Oh, I'm not getting involved. You're on your... Listen, you want to slag Nick Ferrari off, you go and do it on your own. I'm not getting involved, Abby. It ain't nothing... I don't mind taking on James O'Brien, and in the past I've taken on Clive Ball. I ain't taking on Nick Ferrari. He'll sit on me. He'll sit on me and eat me, for God's sakes.
You're doing it now, aren't you?
No, I'm not at all. Well, Abby, what do you want? You must have called him for a reason. reason.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to say that I thought Chavvy Vicky's arguing skills were quite good.
No, girl, this is girls. Girls arguing, isn't it?
No.
Mm.
No,
What?
she didn't get shouty. She stayed calm the whole time.
Yeah. But you know what she did wrong, don't you? I want to give you the chance to answer this, because you do sound quite intelligent. I know you're going to college, I think it is, even if it's only just to study music, which isn't not a real subject. But, no, okay. She did one thing, one major flaw with her argument that made her the weakest arguer that we've had so far. Have a think what it was.
The one thing that I thought was when she went, oh, here we go.
Nope.
Oh, what was it then?
Wasn't that? Have a think. She did one thing. When you're... okay, Abby, you're going to work this out for me. When you have an argument, what's the basic idea of an argument?
You put your point across.
And then what happens?
Shouting and getting stressed.
No, it doesn't matter about shouting and getting stressed. You put your point across, and then what happens?
And then the other person puts their point across.
Excellent. And then what happens? And then what happens?
You debate it.
You debate it, so it goes back and forth.
And you try... Yeah.
You listen.
Yeah.
You speak. Then you listen again, then you speak, and you try and inch the argument forward, inch by inch, little by little, till you reach a conclusion, or you agree that you're never going to agree. What Chavvy Vicky did was she just kept talking. She just kept talking all the way through it, and didn't listen to one thing at all. And when I asked her to stop and listen, she refused to, because in her mind, an argument is just shouting and shouting and shouting.
Yeah. She listened a bit more than some of the others, though.
No, she didn't. She listened much less than some of the others.
Rubbish.
Well, Abby. I've won this argument, haven't I?
Okay, I have been rinsed, but...
Come on! Well, that was... Oh, that's so disappointing. I was about to say that you were the best arguer so far, in that you were doing what an argument is. And this was a different argument altogether, because it was very calm and controlled. And it was the debating thing. It was me saying something, you were listening and responding, and us going back and forth. But then when I just said, I've won, you gave in, Abby! You gave in. You were on a 6 out of 10. You've gone back down to a 4.5.
Oh, well, I don't care.
No, bless you. Abby, anything else?
Sorry?
Anything else? Can we look forward to hearing you on Clive Bull's show this evening?
Probably.
Will you send my love to Clive and his family when you speak to him?
I'll try to.
Abby, thank you very much. Michael's in the Essex. Hello, Michael.
Hi, it's only a quickie.
Yep.
About the eider downs, or whether you want to call them duvets.
Yep.
My grandparents came over from Poland in 1903, and they came over actually with these types of things.
Yes.
And they called them iverbacks. I don't know what that meant. It could be Polish for eider down.
They called them what, Michael?
Iverbacks.
Iverbacks?
Yes, I don't know what it means.
Do you not speak any Polish?
No, none at all.
Popatrz na moje ogórek. It means look at my cucumber. That's all I know. Useless phrase. Look at my cucumber.
Anyway, but 1903 they came over with
1903?
Yeah, and if you look at any old documentaries or...
I was watching the Beatles anthology. Would you class that as an old documentary?
Not really.
Okay, well...
But if you look at any old films, you see the refugees, they had these things rolled up, with a belt round them or something, and they used to carry them.
Uh-huh. Michael, listen, thank you. So it wasn't Terence Conran or Terry Donovan. Remember, it was Terry Donovan, Jason Donovan's dad. He was, wasn't he, I think? They were neighbours together. It was all very incestuous and very weird. 1903. Listen, 0870 90 90 973. Coming up to the last quarter of an hour of the show. Before the nightly news, then Clive Bull, who is now my best friend, coming on at 8 o'clock. If you want to have an argument, you still can. Ian, he's still got a text here. Ian, just driven past Bishop Stortford, don't worry about how to get there, it's not worth going to, from Craig. P.S. Give Vicky a slot on your show. Arlene from the Edge thinks that Steve Allen is the best presenter on LBC. And we're getting lots of sleazy texts in, so thank you very much for all of those. Always good to receive. If you want to have an argument, and it's an argument which I know you can't win. I thought Abby did really well there, and it was proving. A lot of people thought arguments means you've got to shout. It means you've got to shout. Doesn't mean that at all. You can shout, but as long as you're exchanging views and disagreeing, that's an argument. Abby did so well until the final hurdle when I said I've beaten you. And she conceded. If she'd have stuck to her gun, she'd have got a 6 out of 10 for that. If you want to have an argument with me, you can give us a call. I will take the opposite viewpoint to you, and I will beat you in an argument. 0870 90 90 973. Into a couple of these texts. Sheets and blankets suck. They're itchy and horrible. Duvets rule. I never thought I'd get an email saying duvets rule. That's from Ashley in the Wimbledon. And Ian, when I go away for work, all the hotels I stay at use sheets. I can never sleep properly in them. Mikey in South Norwood. P.S. I have an IKEA king-size bed at home. Why are their duvet sizes different to everyone else's? 6:44.
The time with Heathrow Express. The fastest way to Heathrow Airport. Timing is everything.
Reason 323. Buy a 500-gram box of Fox's Luxury Biscuits and get one free. Reason 306. 24 440ml cans of Carlsberg for only £9.99. More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
With a Vodafone 3G data card plugged into your laptop, you can download large files whenever you want. And unlimited access is just £45 a month, excluding VAT. For details, call 08080 741 741. Vodafone. Make the most of now for your business.
Subject to compatibility. Fair usage conditions and minimum contract apply.
It's time now for the latest LBC 97.3 news headlines with Sandy Ward.
Hundreds of protesters are gathering outside Buckingham Palace to demonstrate against China's poor human rights record. A man who murdered his girlfriend and then reported her missing last Valentine's Day has been jailed for life. And police say they've stopped £22 million worth of Class A drugs getting onto London's streets in the past 12 months. Heavy rain at first tonight will become dry after midnight. Quite chilly though, 8 Celsius. Tomorrow cooler, a mixture of sunshine and cloud and a high of 12.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's get the latest travel news now from Simon Bennett.
Many thanks. M3 still shut out of town from the M25 to Junction 3. That's down towards Lightwater. Unlikely to reopen before 7:30 this evening. So you're diverting off at Junction 10 and the 13. That's the A3 and Staines, respectively. We've got problems on the M25 in Hertfordshire, anti-clockwise. A lane block just after Junction 17 at Rickmansworth. That with an accident. And also on the southern stretch, one lane block between Junctions 6 and 5. Godstone to Sevenoaks. That's on the anti-clockwise side as well. North Circuit Road eastbound, thank you for your calls on this. Solid from Finchley to New Southgate after that jackknife lorry at the New Southgate light. Also looking busy, the Finchley High Road, solid both ways, in fact, over the North Circuit Road. We're going to break down on the westbound side of the Strand just after Charing Cross Station, and a breakdown in the Rotherhithe Tunnel going northbound. That means traffic queuing on the approach. That coupled with the closure of the Limehouse Link Tunnel means pretty abysmal to the east of town. Also a broken down van on the Marylebone Road. This is on the westbound side, just past Madame Tussauds. Queues back towards King's Cross for you there. District and Victoria line delays, and southern and southwest reporting delays at Clapham Junction following a broken down train. Your next update in 15 minutes. LBC 97.3 travel with Confused.com. When it comes to car insurance, we'll do the legwork for you.
Last month, when the Mayor, Ken Livingstone, was on with Nick Ferrari, things didn't go so smoothly.
There are 3 ingredients required for a phone-in with the Mayor of London, Ken Livingstone. One of them is me. The other one is you to make the calls or send the emails. The third one would be Mayor Ken Livingstone. He is delayed.
Here's what happened next.
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late. The Jubilee line's got delays.
Yes.
One line's down.
Will the Mayor be on time this time? He's here to take your calls tomorrow morning. Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Weekday mornings from 7. London's LBC 97.3.
If you've never invested in property, if you'd like to be a successful property investor but don't know where to start, if building a portfolio seems a bit confusing, then take the first step with Inside Track.
Since joining Inside Track, I've purchased 2 properties abroad and 1 in the UK.
My aim is to own 20 properties within 5 years, and I know this is possible with the help of Inside Track.
Take the first step by attending Inside Track's free introductory workshop. If you want to profit from property, don't go round the houses. Take the Inside Track. Call 0870 12 44 610 or log on to insidetrack.co.uk.
The 3-hour 4 till 7 Iain Lee Afternoon Wireless Show.
There was a text here. Oh, Raheem in Balham, who called in earlier on. He was the shouty fella who was a delight to argue with. He's texted in. I think he's gone. I'm worried now. We've let loose this monster. It's gone to his head a little bit. Hi, Iain. This is Raheem in Balham, the shouter from earlier. What you just did then with Abby, that's not arguing. That's just debating. What I had was an argument, mate. Therapeutic and cathartic. You don't get your blood pressure up just whining and trying to win. You've got to let go, man. Let go. Yeah. That's his text. Very passionate. Very strange. 087 90 973. Jules in the Pitney. Hello, Jules. Putney. What did I say? I think. Do you know what? I saw it there, and with your name and the place, it looked a little bit like Gene Pitney. And I had Gene Pitney in my head for a second. Jules in the Putney.
Hello.
Hello, Jules. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well.
Well, you sound quite posh at last. A little bit of class and glamour on the show.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take that back then.
I just want to tell you about my duvet.
Duvet, no, it's Christmas. Texted Mike from Guildford. We're getting duvet jokes. Unbelievable. Go on, yes, tell me about your duvet, Jules.
Well, I have a duvet.
Yeah.
And I have a sheet.
Jules, very quickly, would you say that going out with someone for 10 months is a reason to celebrate an anniversary?
Well, you can celebrate for anything you like, really. Depends on what you're doing.
It's not really. Chris from Sevenoaks has just texted. He's going, Ian, I'm picking up our girlfriend for our 11-month anniversary meal. You can't have an anniversary on 11 months. That's a girl thing, definitely. Wanting presents and kisses and things. Blech. Anyway, sorry, Jules, I won't interrupt you again, I promise.
No, you're fine. You carry on. You're really funny. I love you, actually.
Oh, bless you, that's very kind. Now, so tell me about your duvet.
You actually make my travelling hours quite entertaining. I sit and laugh, and people look at me in my car, and I think, oh, God, you're so funny.
Oh, man, do you know, the worst thing is when, like, sometimes I listen to the station in the car, sometimes I listen to music, my iPod, or other music stations, I do. And when there's a really good song comes on, and you're singing along with it, and then you stop at traffic lights, and you realise that the cars on either side of you is just watching you thinking, look at that idiot. And the thing is, you've then either got to sort of act all humble and or you've got to really go for it. And I always go for it and start singing that song even louder to prove I'm not embarrassed, even though I is humiliated. Jules, sorry, we'll get to your point now. I promise you. Please, duvets.
Fine. Yeah, well, I always have a sheet with mine anyway.
On the bed.
Yes.
But not.
And then a duvet, and then sometimes when it gets a little bit cold, I have my bear rug over me as well. So.
Your bear rug?
Yeah.
Oh, please tell me this has got a bear's head on it.
No.
Oh.
No.
That would be kind of sexy.
No, it's a synthetic one.
Oh, that's a shame. Obviously, you shouldn't kill animals and whatever for that kind of thing. But there's something quite sexy about a bear rug that's actually a bear and it's a bear head with its teeth. I always find that. But when was the last time you used sheets and blankets?
Back in the 70s.
They're so I can't believe that we used to use them. They're so inconvenient.
Well, I was brought up with a sheet, a blanket, one of those itchy, horrible blankets, and an eiderdown.
Yeah. Kids these days, Jules, I don't want to sound like an old man, but kids these days, I've got a flipping clue. Jason just texting, there's a cravat on Hollyoaks. You see what we start? You see what we've started here? Debbie's in the traffic jam. Hello, Debbie.
Hiya, Ian.
Hello, Debbie, you all right?
I'm fine, how are you?
I am fine. I am going to my favourite Chinese restaurant this evening to see a couple of friends I've not seen for ages. I'm really excited, so I'm in a very good mood.
Good.
What can I do for you, Debbie?
I'm going to have about continental quilts, because that's what they were called when I was younger.
I'm guessing you're about 34?
Yeah, no, 30... a couple of years older than
39.
No, a bit younger, please.
37.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember, because this is what I was saying, when they first came over, they were the continent, and because it's continental, it is very sexy, because it is the continental quilt.
Only we never had them when they first came over. I was one of the unlucky ones, and we didn't get a continental quilt until the mid-80s.
Oh, really? Oh, Debbie, you must have been poor.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, not compared to the kids nowadays, like you say. They don't know they're born.
Well, Agent Chris, he's 25, bless him. He's a youngster. He thought... He's always been brought up with the continental quilt, the duvet, as the norm. And then when I told him that when I was a kid we used to have sheets and blankets, he thought I was taking the mick. He thought I was making it up.
Well, my mum used to do home help.
Yeah.
And one of the old ladies she used to look after used to knit blankets for us. Not that we could afford our own blankets. But she just wanted to knit these blankets, and she used to knit little squares and put them all together.
Yeah.
And we had that with a blanket and our sheets and...
Debbie, when you go and stay in a hotel, or go to a hostel or anything, how can I put this? Do you enjoy the sheets and the blankets that they have?
I think it's lovely. Crisp white cotton sheet.
Yeah, and with it nice turned over at the top.
Yeah.
And there's something... Go on, sorry.
You can buy really lovely quilts now with sheets, matching satin sheets and...
Satin?
And they
Oh, crikey,
yeah.
I've never slept in satin sheets.
Well, neither have I, but I'm going to.
Oh, really? Why are you going to?
Well, I'm having my bedroom decorated, and this is going to be the theme.
So you're gonna splash out on satin sheets?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I would love to splash out on satin sheets. I've yet to get the opportunity. Debbie, thank you very much. 0870 9090 973 is the telephone number. It's the last few minutes of the show. But you can use that number to give Clive Bull a call at 8 o'clock. And if you do give him a call, ask him, just say my best to him and his family. I hope everything's going well there. Andy's in the Greenwich. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Ian.
Andy, I believe you're up for an argument.
Oh, I am.
Stay there. Mickey's in the Highbury. Hello, Mickey.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm fine, Mickey. You want to have an argument?
I'll give it a go.
I want to hear you and Andy have an argument.
About?
Andy, what do you fancy arguing about?
About 10 minutes? No, 5.
What? No, we're not talking time lengths. But all right, argue about the length of the argument. Away you go.
Oh, well. Oh, is this a 5-minute argument or a 10-minute argument? We'll see how we go. Hello, Mickey. How you doing? All right? Yeah. Where'd you come from? Sorry? Where are you
this is supposed to be having an argument, not chatting each other up.
No, but I need to know where he's from. Oh, you don't need to know where I'm from. What's the argument about? Time. Time we're taking on this argument is what the argument's about, nothing else. No, that's... What, it's not for you to make the rules, is it? Well, I think they're already made, aren't they? We were told that was what we're supposed to be arguing about, so we should be. We don't have to take any notice of what Ian's saying, though. Yeah, but we are already. Do we? Yeah. Oh, so you just listen to anything he'd say? Of course. If he told you to stick your head in the oven? Well, we all have to make our own views on some things, but on this one, it's an argument about the time and the length of the argument, and we're already arguing about it, so that's what the argument is, obviously. Well, it's not anymore. Well, it's not as far as I'm concerned. I think the subject's changed. Although, you know, the time's going on, I'm not even taking notice of how long it's taken, so... Really? So, your continuous references to the time has got nothing to do with us arguing about the time of the argument. And you've got me. Huh? That's not bad.
Mickey?
That's not bad. Hello.
Mickey, I think you came second there. Mickey, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Andy, stay there. You were pretty good arguing. I want you to argue now with Barry in the Chingford. Away you go.
You're so sexy.
Andy, you're talking to Barry.
Hello,
Barry.
Hello, mate. How's it going, Ian? You alright?
Alright, not too bad, thanks.
You're good. So what do you reckon about electrical earthing systems on housing then?
Electrical earthing?
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, to be honest. Maybe you can inform me, and then I can argue with it.
It's a permanent fixture. You're supposed to have it. It's a safety feature on housing, but a lot of houses haven't got it.
Do they not? That's really bad.
Yeah, I think...
Are you responsible for fitting them?
I'm responsible for fitting some, yeah.
Right, and why should we have them?
Well, because it's a safety feature. It prevents the electrical current going through you to ground. It goes through the earth and the system.
Is this electrical or from lightning strikes?
Electrical. I can do lightning strike protection as well if you need that. Earthing, it's all the same, so...
No, but how many times have you been struck by lightning?
I've never been struck by lightning. How many times have you been struck by lightning?
No, you're selling useless equipment, really, aren't you, that we don't really need?
It's not... I'm not selling anything. It's a service, mate.
OK, so you're providing a service that isn't really necessary.
So you're providing a service...
Like you're fleecing people.
Absolutely necessary to prevent you becoming the conductor, taking the electricity down to earth.
But I can wear rubber shoes.
No, but even if you've got rubber shoes on, if the volt's over 240, you're doomed.
Barry, I'm going to interrupt. Barry, thank you very much. Andy, Andy, you're brilliant at arguing.
Well, I'm not yet. I don't like arguing, really.
You don't like it. You're an expert. Have a row with Jamie in the Hacknell.
Oh, Jamie. Even the name gets me going in terms of an argument. Hello, Jamie?
Come on, mate.
What do you want to argue about?
Well, seeing as you're so good at it, why don't you start it off?
Well...
Andy, I want you to argue the fact that I'm a load of rubbish at presenting on LBC.
Oh, right, yeah, I think Ian's actually a load of rubbish presenting on LBC because I actually phoned up about my girlfriend trying to make a prawn cocktail salad in my car after just buying the ingredients, and they ignored me. So I'm not happy about that in terms of that, so I think Ian's a bit rubbish.
Well, no, he's a top man because I don't think I'd waste my time arguing with you over that.
Yeah, but now the car smells of prawns. She didn't get to mashing the avocado up, luckily. But really, I think that's a more interesting topic than arguing in a way.
How do you figure that out? An argument's all about getting your point across. You're just making a statement.
I know, but I didn't want to have an argument originally. I wasn't phoning to have an argument.
We had one.
So why are you ringing up the station when the whole argument's about arguing? You're ringing up the station about arguing and making a statement?
No, I hadn't actually heard what Ian was presenting. I've just turned the radio on. I thought I'd ring him up because
the incident had just occurred. But don't you think he should take more notice of listeners and what they want to talk about?
Jamie, I'm going to say goodbye. Andy, you were spot on, mate. The best argument we've had all day. Thank you very much for that. Andy is definitely the best arguer. Stick around. Clive Ball coming up at 8 o'clock. Now it's time for the nightly news with Sandy Waugh.
This show is completely transparent. If Iain Lee offers you any advice, don't take it. If Iain Lee offends you, he didn't